FREAKIN, your formidable voice in the culture.
Hey Justin, are you trolling?
We'll see who counts the food.
This is the Troll Patrol, live with JustinFREAKIN.
Welcome to the Troll Patrol live. It's a freaking Tuesday. Methodical naivete. 1RFHIR2. Thank you, my friend. We always have one of those at the beginning of each stream. We appreciate it. I am tired of streaming to zero, despite the fact that Matt Walsh called me a formidable voice in the culture. Welcome, good evening. We got a jam-packed show tonight, and we're going to try to wrap it up before 11:35 Eastern Time. On Kick and DEI, we're going to watch Jimmy Kimmel make his return following his suspension last week. I love that I used Jimmy Kimmel on both tonight's thumbnail and last night's thumbnail. They aren't really a part of the, like, I'm not really going to cover Kimmel. Byronic, welcome in. Young lad. Well, hello, young missy. How are you? Afternoon. Now that Byronic's here, we should totally get high. I've got, and Byronic, you need to stick around. I know. Things might not work out for you. Not often are our scaly, lizardy friends featured in the animal video at the end, but we got a cuddly one tonight. I promise you, it's a heartwarming story. If you're not around, I'll send it to you because you're gonna need to see this. We got a Tennessee pastor after the shooting of Charlie Kirk says that a hate has no place here sign needs to come down. He's been accused of being a pretty hateful preacher. We're going to talk about a lot of weather events tonight. It's flooding in Italy. There's a super typhoon getting ready to hit Beijing. Hurricane Gabriel ramping up as it's getting ready to hit the East Coast. A vicious squirrel attack. We have a story about a vicious squirrel attack. Trump says everyone's going to hell. Apparently, the UN turned off the escalator as he was getting ready to ride up it. Trump doing a complete about face on Ukraine, telling them they can take all their land back. They can even go and take more Russia's land if they want to. I guess Putin made him really mad. We covered last night that Democratic leadership had demanded a meeting with Trump in the White House. Trump has accepted yesterday, now is canceled. The Department of Homeland Security says it will not comply with California's new mask law. A server farm in New York City was taken down. Apparently could have took down the entire cell phone infrastructure of New York City. A cyber attack had effects on airports across the world. A teen has been arrested for his part in a 2023 Las Vegas cyber attack. It's just another day in mass shooting USA. Oh yeah, the rapture. Are y'all rapturing hard or hardly rapturing? That's what I meant. You would pass out. If you don't make it to the end, it's not your fault. Maybe I'm just boring. What do I know? Can't hear y'all. I'm midair. You're going to have to speak up. I'm wearing a towel. Bronny James Dio, welcome in, my friend. We might have a caller. I'd rather go ahead and get this out of the way as opposed to hardly rapturing, Byronic says. We had a person who called, Discorded in about a month or so ago. They were clearly young. They talked over me a lot. I mean, it's hard to talk over me. What they didn't realize is that, I have audio ducking on their audio. So when I talk, they actually get bumped down. So they can't really talk over top of me. It's probably in your best interest just to let me say what I'm going to say. But one of the main points of contention was the California minimum wage law. You guys might remember that. We touched on several topics, but one of the main ones we talked about was the California minimum wage law. And I said all data shows that raising the minimum wage, good for everybody across the board, including businesses, because it results in better service It results in happier employees. It's a whole cascading effect. Now, you don't see that immediately. It's not built into your bottom line. You know, that's something that you see the results of down the road. Right-wingers don't want to accept that, and capitalists, they want to see results now. They want what can make them money now as opposed to is better for them in the long term. We've seen that over and over again. So all these owners see is having to raise their costs. They see no immediate benefit from it. That comes down the road. So they don't they want to keep wages as low as they possibly can. They don't want to be out here raising wages for workers. So they're going to fill you with propaganda. Now this motherfucker, how this ended up. He sent me a video today of Charlie Kirk. And I'll play it because he keeps accusing me of being closed-minded or in a bubble, yada, yada, yada. Which is weird because, once again, I used to work with Republicans. I've met Mitch McConnell. I did debate in college and high school. It's weird to call me, closed-minded. But, we watch more right-wing content than we watch left-wing content on here. I definitely can't play you guys liberal content. If I played you guys... Harris was on with Rachel Maddow last night. If I played you guys a clip of that, your heads would explode. My numbers would go down. So we tend to watch right-wing content. That is the one thing, audience capture, that I fall into on this show, is you guys clearly do not like liberal content, even to criticize it. DJ Dub, welcome in. So he says, you call Charlie Kirk a racist, yet he sends me this video as a result. I know you're too close-minded to watch this, but Charlie didn't even believe in race. So you're wrong to call him a racist. Hope I'm wrong and that you do better. So he told me I'm wrong to call Charlie Kirk a racist, despite all the, said the Civil Rights Act was a bad idea, said that, he wouldn't fly on a plane with a black pilot. All of that shit, But because of this clip, Charlie Kirk's not racist. So let's see what he's got to say.
So let me explain this to you.
Flash, welcome in.
DEI is this belief that we're going to force people in positions,
Right.
a quota.
Right.
So the NBA is a great example. So
Right off the bat, DEI is this belief that we're going to force people to have a quota. There's no quota to DEI. This is if you only know what DEI is by having it explained to you by right-wingers, then I get it, I guess. But if you're a critical thinker, then wouldn't you want to go and actually, what actually is DEI? It is one corporate speak for wanting your organization to reflect the population. So if you've got a population that's 14% black, you probably want your organization to be 14% black. So you want to go out there and possibly recruit the best people that you can, not shove a white person that was qualified out of the way for someone who was less qualified. No, go find the best qualified person that you can that may represent this diversity, because the diversity is good for your organization going forward. Because how can your organization properly represent or monetize a group that they haven't even thought of? So if you're a clothing brand and you're trying to maximize your market share, you want diversity in your organization, or otherwise you're just locking yourself out of a huge market. DEI has nothing to do with forcing quotas on people. So Charlie Kirk lying to you from the get-go, creating what is called a straw man argument. Once again, he is going to a college campus debating some college kid. Do we see him here? This dude isn't media trained. He probably doesn't know his logical fallacies. He's just going up to debate Charlie Kirk, and Charlie Kirk is prop clipping is what Tim Pool calls this. So it gives Charlie Kirk the veneer that he's having honest debate and that he's being challenged, when in reality, he's not going up against somebody like me who actually knows logical fallacies, knows that his argument is bullshit, and can properly respond. He's going up against an ill-prepared college student that's probably walking back and forth between classes and decided to go up and debate the stupid fucking racist. Well, let's hear what he's got to say. Let's hear it all out.
On DEI. So DEI is this belief that we're going to force people in positions,
Right.
a quota.
Right.
So just the NBA is a great example. So right now the NBA is 75% black. If all of a sudden the NBA said, we want more diversity, it's too black.
Yeah.
Right? Because we want to have more diversity.
Right.
And they would say, we're not allowed to have any more than 30% of the NBA.
False analogy. You're comparing apples to oranges. Also, the NBA probably had a DEI policy.
Be black. Would the quality of the NBA go down?
The quality of the NBA, arguably right now, yeah, I would. But
let's take the NFL.
So what he's saying is he's saying that we're taking something that is strictly merit-based, a sporting event, and you'd have to apply this quota to it. So that's implying that if your company has a DEI policy, that they are going out and getting somebody who is less qualified, or that the organization was merit-based to begin with. That's also an assumption that's built into Charlie Kirk's reasoning here. That, like, the fucking old adage has always been, it's not what you know, it's who you know. The person likely to get a job at a company is, people with ties to the boss. So this idea that a company is merit-based to begin with is flawed. So, but continue, Charlie, continue.
So just the NBA is a great example. So right now the NBA is 75% black. If all of a sudden the NBA said, we want more diversity, it's too black.
yeah.
Right? Because we want to have more diversity.
Right.
And they would say, we're not allowed to have any more than 30% of the NBA be black. Would the quality of the NBA go down?
The quality of the NBA, arguably right now, yeah, I would. But
let's take the NFL, right?
yeah.
So the
I mean,
NFL's
there's not a single Caucasian corner, so
yeah, no, for sure. So
Cooper show.
not a corner, but he's
So-
great.
Talking like the kids.
half of the, and I think you can see what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, no, for
half
sure.
of the NFL is black.
Yeah.
If all of a sudden, Roger Goodell, boo, we don't like Roger Goodell. He's bad for many reasons. If he came and he's like, hey, diversity is our strength.
Right.
We're only going to say 30% of the NFL is black. You would have other unqualified white people that would then get positions in the NFL, and the quality of play would slip.
Right.
So you get the argument.
Yeah.
You then extrapolate that to other walks of life.
Right.
You think to yourself, let's just hire the best.
Yeah.
And the NFL does hire the best.
It should be the best no
Totally.
matter what the...
Yeah. That implies that the country is a meritocracy, but it's not. The reason why DEI policies, affirmative action happened is because we had fucking, 400 years of slavery, 200 years of Jim Crow? I'm off on my math horribly.
But then you take my 75% chance of winning and then add 66 and 2/3%. I got 141 and 2/3 chance of winning.
You've had people, we specifically had to pass the Civil Rights Act, which Charlie Kirk was against, in order to allow people to participate in society. Like, he brings up Justice Thomas. Justice Thomas was Charlie Kirk's favorite Supreme Court justice, and mine too, to be honest with you. And I'm like, oh, that's wild. The people who, the billionaires that bought Justice Thomas, I showed him the ProPublica article. The billionaires that pay for Justice Thomas, they're also the same billionaires that pay for people like Charlie Kirk. No wonder he's your favorite fucking Supreme Court justice. You know nothing about law. You know nothing about jurisprudence. You can't tell me about his legal theories. But he's your favorite Supreme Court justice. Why? Because the propaganda you watched told you that. Because of the vibes.
I don't think there should be restrictions to anybody. As long as you're
I
good
agree.
at what you do, it doesn't really matter to me.
I agree.
All right, well then we
And-
stand in agreement then.
As I said, I was having this argument with a right-wing radio host once. I used to work for a right-wing radio host about 2017. I did his production, did his clipping and shit. And we were having the same argument. I'm like, well, you're arguing that we live in a meritocracy, and you know that's not true, because if we lived in a meritocracy, I would be your boss. You're in the position of program director at the radio station because you have friends that are on the Rotary Club, because you had Madison RV outside of Huntsville, Alabama. Like, you were friends with the owner, and he would buy ads on the station. It's not because you're the best for the job. Oh, DJ Dub just posted in the Discord. I left this one off. I actually have the clip. Once again, I left it off because of the audience capture, but we're killing time until we get our caller coming in here, and then we'll actually start the show here in a little bit. Or maybe I don't have the clip. Oh, there it is. I was about to say, maybe I just had the, You just unbanned him, Warlord. Well, I wasn't going to show it, because once again, you guys tend to really revile when I show liberals, Rachel Maddow clips, stuff like that.
A tyrant. We used to compare the strength of our democracy to communist dictators. That's what we're dealing with right now, Donald Trump. And these titans of industry are not speaking up.
There is so much fucking wrong with that. First of all, you're seeing a fascist dictatorship, not a communist. Communism means something completely different. Oh, it doesn't show Maddow's face. What does she say back?
We used to compare the strength of our democracy to communist dictators. That's what we're dealing with right now, Donald Trump. And these titans of industry are not speaking up.
She could have won the election if I was her campaign manager. If she had just kept her fucking mouth shut and sent Tim Walz everywhere, instead of doing the opposite, her going everywhere and making Tim Walz sit on the bench, if they had kept the same messaging that they had before the DNC, the polling shows it, Warlord. That's what she made another claim, and I might have it bookmarked somewhere, but once again, I didn't put this up on the show for tonight. She made another claim that she didn't have enough time. But no, it's the opposite. Had the election happened in 57 days, she would have won. Hold on, let me see if I've got that. Because they got the polling with it and everything. It is 100% correct to say that. 108 days was too long. Had it only been 57 days, she would have won. I didn't keep that part. I don't have that chart here. But the polling at 57 days was something like she was up like 6 points. And here's the thing, clinically, she didn't even have to change anything. She won that first debate. Everybody can go back and watch it. Like, people don't remember that debate. There's a reason why Trump didn't want other debates. She won handily. He went off on the eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. That's where that came from. But for some reason, she did everything she could. And it was Capitol getting in her ear. We know that. It was the big donors. They were upset. Fucking Bill Kristol was in the what is it, the something review, National Review or whatever, saying that she needed to have a populist message, that she needed to focus on an economic populism from the left, telling her she needed some sort of national rent freeze or something. Bill goddamn Kristol wanted to see Trump defeated. And she did the opposite. DJ Dub knows what I'm talking about. Bill Kristol actually, and that was it's true. It's the winning message. Fucking, I don't know if you guys have seen the polling. Mamdani wins. If everybody were to drop out, Mamdani still wins. Everybody but Cuomo were to drop out, Mamdani would still be the winner. I said it before. I was like, I don't think it matters. I think he wins handily. I think he gets a majority of the vote. And Harris would have won. And Obama proves it. Oh, but when Obama won by a goddamn landslide in what should have been a generational change of an election, his rhetoric was all about provide hope and change, and it's a different kind of politics. We've got a different vision for the future. Unfortunately, he didn't deliver on that. It was the same neoliberal bullshit. He put a Band-Aid on the problems that we still haven't faced as a country. And that's why we're in the situation we're in now. That's why it helped usher in Donald Trump. And I agree. Had the Democrats embraced the Bernie Sanders message in 2016, we wouldn't be in this situation. And I know you gotta throw a caveat on that. Bernie was running to be a, move the party to the left candidate. He didn't think he was going to win in 2016. It wasn't until we got into 2016, the primary actually started, he was like, oh shit, I could actually pull this off. And it was kind of too late at that time. And then we wouldn't be in the situation that we're in, but capital wins out. And like my fellow leftists, I disagree. Like Melanie Cosmic Fox and I had a knockout drag out argument the other day. I'm glad we've patched things up. But like, not voting's not going to do anything. You have to take over a party. You have to exercise power. We are up against capital, and unfortunately, having a lot of money is a severe impediment to our cause. I'm not high enough for this shit. We're supposed to have somebody calling in. That's why I'm vamping for time right now. I might have to go ahead and move on to news, because god damn it. Oh no, right as I say that, he pops in. Well. I'm not high enough for this shit, though. Kaya, did I tell you good evening? Warlord, DJ Dub, Curious, or anybody else I didn't get. Love you all. So glad to see you. Well, this should be fun. Are you there, buddy? Hold on a second. I may have it set up wrong. Give me one sec here. Because it looks like you're coming through. Let me check my Discord settings. Talk for me again. No, this is my problem. Hold on one sec. All right, you should be there now.
All right, can you hear me?
I can. Welcome in.
Thank you for having me.
Tash, welcome in. No, I want to hash this out right now. I want you to admit that you were wrong.
Okay, so I want to clarify my claim, though, or at least explain the scenario that I see going on. Because I agree with you largely in all of your retorts, but I just feel like it doesn't address my main claim. And so what I feel like my main claim is like, say I have like a mom that works at the McDonald's as like a cashier, right? And then it gets like there's 7 people working at this fantastic McDonald's right now, right? And then they do the whole AI thing. They reduce it down to 4. My mom now gets fired because, you know, she's one of the people that gets fired, right? Now there's 4 workers there. So it's not an increase in workers yet. And we agree that it's like some sort of disconnect, right? And the way that
there are more fast food workers in McDonald's today.
I agree with you 100%. And
then what you're claiming is wrong.
No, I'm trying to explain that.
You're stupid is what you are.
No, then the franchisee opens another business that also employs 4 because, you know, you don't have to have the 7.
There are more workers.
Business now.
There are more workers making more money than before.
I agree with 100%.
There are more workers. There are more fast food workers. So basically what you're saying is you want me to entertain your belief that something that is
now fired and not able to.
Your mom is made up, and the data says the opposite. More people are working there,
I agree
making more money than ever before.
I agree 100% with that. But
Do you?
Is that with
what you got to do is make up some scenario that never existed in order to claim something that the data says otherwise.
It's on the ground scenario.
It's you made it up.
No,
Once again, on screen right now. The effects of California's $20 fast food minimum wage, large wage increases with no effects on hours, scheduling, or benefits.
I agree with that 100%.
No, you don't, because you're arguing on the opposite.
I'm arguing in specific instances, not in totality.
You don't have a specific instance. Once again, that would be anecdotal. That would be an anecdotal fallacy, and you don't even have an anecdote. You made it up.
But
you don't have an anecdote. You made it the fuck up.
Or not.
You're asking me to allow for something that you made up.
Are shutting down. A lot of people were fired and turned over.
No, there are more people working now. What you are saying is the opposite of the fucking shit, dude. More people are working now in California fast food. So what you're saying is wrong.
No, I'm saying there's a transition period. Before you get to the 2 businesses open with 8 employees, which is more employees than the 1 business with 7, you have that transition.
They're not opening new businesses. If anything, they're downsizing.
Well, I agree.
Buddy, there's too many McDonald's out here.
Businesses are opening more.
But there's too many McDonald's out there. Like in most towns, you go fucking 5 minutes and 3.
Profitable. You agree they're making the businesses more profitable, right?
What?
The businesses are more profitable right now, right? Like it's helping the businesses, or it's not hurting the business at all to increase the wages, right?
No, it's not. And it usually helps in the long run because you get better customer service.
Why wouldn't they open more businesses then? If it is helping.
There's already like 3 McDonald's within a 5-minute. Fucker, do you live in reality?
Yes, I think I do.
In your town, like you can go 5 minutes and see 3 different McDonald's, correct?
Yes, approximately, yeah.
So why would there be another McDonald's open? If anything, they're closing stores because in the expansion through the 2000s and the late 90s, they added too many stores.
I think a decent amount of the McDonald's are going to stay though, because like they sell food, but their main business is
real estate. We all know this.
I agree.
This has nothing to do. This has nothing. Brother, can you admit that you were wrong about the California minimum wage?
No, but what I'm saying with my claims is that the McDonald's are going to pop up. There's going to be more of those, but then
there aren't more physical locations of McDonald's.
Are going to shut down.
You're just making shit up because you can't fucking accept facts.
They increase the number of McDonald's when, like you would.
Because there's like 3 in a 5 minute. Holy shit! Why would there be more McDonald's when there's already like 3 within a 5-minute?
They want to buy more of that real estate because that's what it's all about. It's about that real estate money, right? We agree.
Franchisee isn't going to purchase a McDonald's if they can't make money. The franchisee doesn't make money off real estate. Tash, whatever the fuck your name is, can you please understand that you're stupid?
I guess I understand.
You don't understand what you're talking
I
like.
brother, thank you for taking my call.
Do you know anything about economics?
I'm not an economics major.
No, you're not. So why would you pretend to know it? I'm not. I'm a philosophy major. I
looked into
I'm sorry. I have a philosophy degree. Not a major. I'm not like still in college.
Completely lying when they say a lot of people lost their jobs. And I agree with you that a lot of people got hired on and that there are in net more people working. I just think that when those people got fired, that
nobody got fired
individually.
You're making a claim that you have no evidence for.
Well, I thought I linked like the Fox News and like some other.
Buddy, in the Fox News article that you linked me, did you actually read it?
Yeah, I read
at the main bottom. They include an economist from the college, it was a business association that actually made the claim that it hurt workers. At the bottom, they included an economist from the college, and it said it is very possible that any decrease that we see in the amount of workers is just a commensurate to the decrease in population in California because California saw a slight population decrease. I said it in your own article that you cited to me, that it was very possible that's what the number reflected.
I don't even.
So you have no evidence whatsoever. Even your own article said, but that's not what they. Because remember, this is Fox News. Fox News is propaganda. It's billionaires trying to convince you of things. And this goes back to the Charlie Kirk thing, man. You sent me that video where Charlie Kirk, I broke it down. I played the video before you got here and broke down how he was racist in that video.
And not wanting race quotas?
There are no race quotas. He's lying to you.
There are.
No, there aren't.
You realize the race quotas.
There are no race quotas.
Benefit white women more than.
There are no race quotas.
Like they did a study.
There are no race quotas. You're just making that up. That's not what DEI is. Brother. Hold on, let me talk. Okay? I explained it to you, man. Charlie Kirk created a straw man. Instead of you knowing what DEI actually is, you've never looked it up. You've never went and found a neutral. Dude, let me talk. Dude, let me talk. You've never went and looked up what DEI actually is. You've only let people like Charlie Kirk tell you what it is. Am I right or am I wrong?
I've looked way into it.
Okay, what is it then?
Listen to Kirk after he's died. Previous to him dying, I didn't much like his content. I thought he was way too normie, way too like milquetoast. I wasn't really.
He's a white nationalist, you dipshit. He's a Christian white nationalist.
I wasn't interested in his TikTok clips, which is most of what I saw from him. From my experience, like I have a sister that's extraordinarily smart, right? She worked for like YouTube and Google for a bit, like after getting a computer science degree at Cornell and some other places, because like she had to go to different schools to complete her degree. And the issue I have with DEI is much like Charlie. I view it as, I know my sister is extraordinarily smart, right? Like she's a person that I grew up with. I know that she's an extremely like intellectual individual, right?
Or you could just be biased.
But at the same time, the DEI quotas create a doubt that I don't want to exist. That now I'm thinking, is it possible that she's only gotten to the place that she has, not fully because of how smart she is, which, like I said before, she's a really smart person to my like knowledge of her, but simply because that they have these quotas and maybe she wasn't actually meant to get to the place that she got to.
There are no quotas.
with DEI.
Why do you
that people have with it.
keep saying there are quotas? There
So
are
then
no
if you-
quotas.
If you make laws or
There are no laws about DEI.
have things that get rid of quotas, or what do you
There
think?
are no quotas.
Okay, so what is DEI? Why do they want to get rid of race quotas?
You don't know what DEI is. That's what I just said.
It's diversity, equity, inclusion. Right?
Yes.
You wanna have
Let's
a bit of
read the
everyone.
actual definition, okay? In the United States, diversity, equity, and inclusion are organizational frameworks that seek to promote a fair treatment and full participation of all people, particularly groups who have historically
And
been
that can be
underrepresented.
done
Shut the
with
fuck up and let me finish. You're not even listening to the goddamn definition, you stupid fuck. Once again, don't listen to respond. Listen and take it in. Listen to the fucking definition, because you shouldn't have an opinion if you don't know what you're talking about. Agreed?
I had an opinion on the definition that you just read out,
But the definition I'm reading is correct, you dumb shit.
and you could do it with
Fucking let me read it. Let me read it. In the United States, diversity, equity, and inclusion are organizational frameworks that seek to promote the fair treatment and full participation of all people, particularly groups who have historically been underrepresented or subject to discrimination based on identity or disability. These three notions together represent three closely linked values which organizations seek to institutionalize through DEI frameworks. The concepts predate this terminology, and other various variations sometimes include terms such as belonging, justice, accessibility. There's not any quotas. It doesn't create a quota.
Don't you realize, though, that quotas could fit into that framework subjectively?
Nobody has a quota. Once again, what DEI, I explained it before you got here, because like you're so concerned with me watching Charlie Kirk clips, but you certainly don't watch me fucking explain shit. Before you got here, I explained DEI is to say, okay, if I have a company and we're a big multinational company, we sell products all over the United States, I should want my company to properly reflect what the United States looks like. So I should go out of my way not to pick people that aren't meritorious to be there, but to find competent people, people that are bright, that also represent a certain segment. Because if I'm a clothing brand, if I don't have black people in my organization, I'm missing out on market share because I can't properly market or develop products for that group of people. So a lot of these companies.
Let me ask you a question. Isn't that a quota, though? Like, we need to have this number of people for this demographic, this number of people for this demographic, these people for this demographic. Isn't that still just a quota?
Okay,
Isn't
let me
better
ask
to
you,
just
do you
find
realize
people for the job?
Do you realize that historically, up until about, because once again, Charlie Kirk was against the Civil Rights Act, up until about 60 years ago, black people could be discriminated in employment. They weren't afforded equal rights under the law. So therefore,
Yeah, that's bad.
Yeah. So that's why we have taken steps to try to, because if you eliminate the laws that legalize racism, and you say, you can't discriminate based on race, sex, yada, 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 then it's not an automatic leveling of the playing field. You would agree, right? Because all these organizations are still
automatically level it.
all these organizations are still full of white people, right?
No, yeah, it would take a little
So if
time for
yeah,
black people to build up their own
for
institutions.
less than 60 years,
or
for
all
fucking
that.
sure. And now I don't know if you know about like all the history that goes into this. Like after we freed the slaves, black people actually did really well and thrived in society. We had what was called Black Wall Street. You may know The Watcher. That's based on Tulsa, Oklahoma. Black Wall Street. There was Wilmington, North Carolina, and these were thriving black communities where they were building wealth, and white people came in and tore them down. They razed Tulsa,
Yeah,
Oklahoma.
that was really horrible. I already know about the Tulsa riots and all that stuff. So yeah, it's not.
So what we're doing here is not taking a spot from, because white people have been in spots that they didn't deserve for years and years and years. You see what I'm saying?
100% agree. I think.
So what we're doing is trying to make a more
race, to make things more
fair society. And in capitalism, it is actually really good for organizations to go out and seek out people. And like, do you think that it's bad that they're hiring people of color that are completely qualified for the jobs they're in? Because that's what Charlie Kirk's assertion is, that they're not qualified for their jobs. Like there's a presupposition that they're not qualified, but yet they're not seeking out not qualified people
that aren't qualified are getting to those positions, and that's his worry.
But that's unfounded. That's because he's a fucking racist, dude. He believes that because he's a fucking racist. He believes black people are unqualified.
The quotas exist.
Brother, there's no quotas.
But what you laid out earlier, in my mind, is a quota.
But it's not. That's just you making shit up.
What should I label it as opposed to a quota then?
Brother, I don't even know. You're only upset about this issue because Charlie Kirk brainwashed you to believe it. Because rich people.
I've been upset about this issue since I found out about it. What do you mean?
How did you find out about it if it wasn't for right-wing fucking propagandists?
Form of racism in society.
But what evidence do you have that it's racist?
Men. That's not great for society because that builds more resentment.
What evidence do you have that it's racist?
No,
you dipshit.
You have racial quotas.
There's no you keep saying that. There's no racial quotas.
What's another word I can use that won't trigger you? I'm sorry, I'm not trying to.
I'm not triggered, you dipshit. You just keep making an argument that's not true. This is just like you talking about the minimum wage. Brother, my goal in life is to get people like you to stop having opinions on shit you don't know anything about.
Well, I have this amazing opinion, and maybe.
But you don't. It's not an amazing opinion. It's a racist ass opinion.
I haven't told you it yet. It's extraordinarily non-racist, actually.
Yeah, like the video you sent me of Charlie Kirk being a racist.
Well, you haven't heard it yet. Can I please give you my theory of what we can do to help fix things?
Go ahead.
I want to institute a quota economically, where we're helping the poorest people economically. And while black people constitute like a large portion of the poor people, obviously there's a lot of other races that are poor too, and then they'll all benefit, and it's like raising the tide like lifts all boats, and you're lifting up everyone. And then since you're doing it simply based off of economics and there's no racial aspect to it, even you have Republicans or anyone pointing to it and saying that it's DEI or racial quota.
Okay. Let me.
You're helping out everyone.
Cool.
There's no sort of racism.
Cool.
There's no sort of
Cool. Hey, shut up. What you just described, would you say that that's something like from each according to his ability to each according to his needs? That's a good quote, right?
To a large degree, yeah. I'm not completely opposed to all aspects of communism.
From each according to his ability to each according to his needs. That's what you just described.
I mean,
that's Marxism.
Degree, but
that was Karl Marx that said that.
Yeah, I know.
You literally just described Marx. Thank you. I won you over to the left.
No, see, the thing is I think Karl Marx, very much like Hitler, accurately described the problems in society. I just think
like Hitler said the problems in society were Jewish. You're fucking you're so fucking stupid, dude. You don't have an God damn.
But so he did some good stuff too. Like he did like anti-smoking campaigns, and he was like a vegan. He was against animal cruelty and like a whole bunch of other stuff that is kind of popular. Like he wasn't just Satan, just like Lenin or Karl Marx and whoever else. They're not pure evil. Yes, there's horrible aspects to them, like
No, there's no horrible aspects to Marx. You've just been taught to hate Marx and think it's scary.
I don't personally hate Marx. I just like the down.
You just literally described Marxism. But once I tell you it's Marx, then you're like, oh, well, he's evil.
I'm not personally, like I said, opposed to Marx specifically. It's just,
brother, I don't think you know shit about Marx. That's the problem. I don't think you know shit about Hitler.
He was the
I
first
don't think
guy
you do.
that went to Russia and started the whole communist revolution, right?
No.
Or that was Lenin.
You are a fucking moron.
Marx is the puffy-haired guy. I was thinking of Lenin the whole time you were talking.
You are a moron. You do not know what you're talking about, brother. Why? Why have opinions on shit you know nothing about? That is my problem with right-wingers.
Mixed up. That was my only issue, but you're correct.
No, you don't have any idea who Marx was. No idea whatsoever.
Am I correct or incorrect in saying that Marx and Lenin were both Jewish?
I don't even, was Marx Jew? I don't even fucking know.
I think he was.
I have no fucking idea. That's the kind of shit that right-wingers talk about. I have no idea if either of them are Jewish.
Hey, that's just internet speak. You go on the internet.
I have fucking, yeah, it's Nazis on the internet, you dipshit.
Question. There's a lot of Jews. There's like Zelensky.
Buddy, why are you bringing up Jews? Why are you talking about Jewish people?
It's like a tribe. It's kind of like the mafia, sort of, you know.
No, it's not. No, Jewish people are not like the mafia. You fucking moron. You are a racist. Now you're being anti-Semitism. Now you're committing an anti-Semitism on my stream, brother.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not trying.
You're a racist? You're an anti-Semite?
My grandfather's Jewish. He converted late in his life.
Oh my God, brother! Just like with the,
I have a question actually. Does that make me Jewish? Because I know it's like later in life, and I know like the
brother. I don't fucking know. I have no care about somebody being Jewish. That is shit that Nazis on the internet talk about.
I don't really care too much easily, like
You seem to be very concerned about it.
But it's an interesting topic. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it's not. Racism is not an interesting topic.
It's not racism. It's just
yes.
Like, the Jew.
It's like you with Justice Thomas, man. You told me that Justice, brother. You told me that Justice Thomas was your favorite Supreme Court justice. You know nothing about his opinions. You know nothing about the law.
All of his Second Amendment opinions. I like Bruin. I like most of his opinions he puts out.
No, you're going by feels because the people who I showed you bought and paid for Justice Thomas. I don't like corrupt people on my Supreme Court, by the way. You seem to be completely like that's why like you want me to engage with you, but you're basically just saying
I don't really buy into that corruption too much. That's the only issue. Similar to the whole Epstein stuff, I don't really buy too much into it. I just don't see it as like hard proof that something horrible is going on like you do. And I understand that that's your opinion. Completely valid.
Because you're an idiot.
Not something I share.
Because you're a right-wing biased hack. You live in a bubble, and you're a fucking idiot. So you just don't believe he took gifts, despite the fact that there is extensive reporting that shows he did, and that shows that he went out and solicited it. No, you just don't.
I think even if you become a Supreme Court, you're still able to be friends with people.
You should be able to be bribed. You should be able to be bribed.
Well, that's what's labeled, but just because you're friends with a rich person and they just...
No. These friends are like paying for his house for his mom? Are you fucking serious?
It's nice to have rich friends.
They're bribing him.
To do what?
To rule in their favor on the Supreme Court, you dumb motherfucker. Why do they fund Charlie Kirk to buy your political opinion?
Couldn't it just be similar to like the Tim Pool thing where they just like the stuff that Tim Pool's doing so they decide to give him money?
Oh my God, yes, all these people are corrupt, you dipshit.
But it's like a different level of corruption. It's like, hey, that guy's pretty cool. I'm going to give him a super
okay, these companies all had business in front of the Supreme Court. And Clarence Thomas all ruled in favor of these companies. That's not corruption to you. You haven't read the ProPublica article. You don't even know what he's accused of. You are an idiot. You are a waste of time. I don't know why you want me to engage with you. You're just fucking stupid.
Okay, well, I'll leave you alone, and I hope this was fantastic content for you. I really hope you have a fantastic day. And
I would have rather been doing the news,
interacting
but
with
you
me.
kept accusing me of being in a bubble, and you can admit that's not right, right?
To be fair, you are, because
I'm not.
like
I have a degree in political philosophy. I did debate in high school and
and you
college.
won't let me
I've worked in the
post my
news for
opinions
30
and
fucking
stuff.
years.
so you kind of you're like literally the only Discord I've ever been banned from, and I'm on like
Why were you banned?
active in them.
You weren't banned for what you had to say.
Yeah, because you didn't like what I had to say.
No.
Like,
Multiple times.
shit.
Multiple times, like with the California minimum wage. I don't know if that was one of them because we've been on Twitter and everything. But multiple times I explained why you were wrong, and then you just didn't fucking respond, and then you would post some other right-wing propaganda.
Are you talking about on Twitter or specifically?
I'm talking specifically in my Discord.
Yeah, sorry. I was just like responding whenever I saw you typing.
But you never actually respond. Like, I would prove you wrong, and then you would just fucking move the fuck on, and it's annoying. You're wasting my time because I can't help myself. I love arguing with dipshits, but like...
I love arguing too. I think we could have a really fantastic back and forth if we could.
But
be
we
more
can't
cordial.
because you're an idiot. You don't know what you're talking about. Maybe if you go get educated and know something about making good
Pick a
arguments...
topic, and in a week, let's discuss it.
No. We had a topic today, California minimum wage. You were 100% wrong. You how many? Hey.
Victory
Do you-
won for you. Let's
Do you
it
find
next
it? Do you
week,
finally?
right?
Do you finally know what an ad hominem is? You accuse me of ad hominem so many times. Do you understand I never committed ad
To be
hominem?
fair, yes, but to be fair, the definition of ad hominem is very watered down, and I was literally copy pasting someone else's response.
No. The definition of ad hominem is very specific. You don't understand it. I still don't know if you understand it, you fucking
we
moron.
disagree on definitions because
No, you can't disagree on definitions because these are things that can be.
years ago.
These can be things that are looked
Definitions
up.
change
No, my
over
God.
time, very subjectively. That's how words.
Oh yeah. That's you telling me that a leftist
change.
didn't mean anti-capitalism.
Yeah, because it.
But that's
changes
literally what the
depending on
word
where you are,
means.
like the
That's
setting-
literally where it comes
setting
from.
of the
You
word
tried to
very
mock me
matters.
for explaining the etymology of the word and the term.
Well, it's just funny to me because it's not how it's currently used in America.
That's not how
modern
idiots
day.
like you use
But I
it.
agree with you.
You
that
no.
that's
That's not how
200
idiots
years
like
ago.
you use it.
That's why definitions change because people use
No,
words differently.
no. You being on the internet and listening to grifters and not knowing what you're talking about doesn't change a definition that I went to school and actually learned about.
I don't disagree with the base definition that you laid out. My issue. with
You
it
shouldn't because it is the
don't
definition.
evolve that definition once you realize.
No, the definition
no
doesn't
longer within that
evolve.
framing.
Liberals aren't leftists. Kamala Harris was right-winger. Most Democrats are right-wingers. And I, as a leftist, think that's very important to distinguish that because our problems cannot be solved by liberals. We need leftist solutions. As you said, you pointed out earlier, like the Marx quote. From each according to his
But
ability to
isn't
each
that-
according to his needs. We need leftist policies like that. And I agree, man. We don't need racial quotas. We just need health care for everybody. We need to tax the rich heavily and redistribute it into making sure all schools are connected to property taxes. We need to do away with that and properly fund all schools. We need to do away with redlining.
What's your opinion on the current state of the Department of Education and how the whole education system's working?
Linda McMahon is a fucking moron. I'm a wrestling fan. I grew up loving WWE. I am probably one of the biggest wrestling nerds you've ever fucking heard. And Linda McMahon has no business anywhere near the Department of Education.
Do you think it's like been a success, or do you think it's been a pretty?
I don't think you could even tell me what the Department of Education even does.
Don't they mostly just distribute funds to like colleges and
Yeah.
whatnot?
Yeah.
As
They
well
want to
as-
make sure they use funding in order to make sure federal laws are enforced, like civil rights laws, making sure that kids
Yeah.
aren't discriminated against.
And do you think that
Curriculum is set at the local
political-
level.
No, yeah, I agree. It's like a state thing, right?
Yeah. So what's wrong with using funding to make sure that federal laws are enforced?
I just think that, like, depending on obviously what state you're in, like, I feel like some states aren't doing too well with regards to education, and I feel like there needs to be some sort of reform. I'm not exactly.
Yeah, red
sure what
states
that
aren't
would
doing
be.
too well in regards to education.
What do you think is a solution to that?
Democratic leadership. It's not, anti-education. Like, Republicans literally advocate against education.
I feel like
you're a moron.
But I feel like the main thing that they point out is that, like, we're spending a lot and then not getting much for what we're spending.
Well, yeah, but that's because they're lying to you, dipshit. Okay, if you take out the poorest schools and only like focus on the grades of schools in rich areas, we do really well against the rest of the world. It's the poor schools underperforming that drags everybody else down. Remember when I made the proposal just a little bit ago? Stop tying school funding to property taxes and properly fund all schools. Problem solved.
Do you think doing a child voucher would be the best way to do that? Or
that is a scam. That is a scam to funnel taxpayer money into the hands of private corporations. And once
Like
again,
private
this is going back to you. All your opinions come from media that has been funded by billionaires.
Well, I'm just wondering because I think we both agree that the way that the education system is currently funded, like you're saying, is not very great. I'm just
The way
wondering
it's
what
currently
your
funded, and I gave you the
solution is.
solution because I've listened to educators. I know what's wrong.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear a thing. Could you repeat it? I'm sorry.
I gave you the solution.
Which was?
Stop tying school funding to property taxes and properly
heard
fund
that,
all
but
schools.
I didn't hear what you would tie it to or what you would do to fix that. That was
Just
my
fund schools.
But how?
With money.
I feel like that ties back to the whole, like, I think you agree. Everyone, when they're polled about healthcare and whether it's a human right and whether everyone should get healthcare, it's like it polls extraordinarily well, right?
Okay.
But I feel like then when you actually dive down into the specifics of like how you do that or how that goes about happening or how much it costs, then suddenly a lot of the support and a lot of that kind of stuff kind of dips. And that's why I was wanting to dive into this.
When we get into policy issues, then you start having the healthcare industry and the pharmaceutical industry lobbying against any thing that might hurt their bottom line. Everybody can agree. Yeah. All the data shows that if we had a universal single-payer healthcare system, it would cost less and produce better results than what we have now. But the problem is that you wouldn't have CEOs making money off of your mom dying of cancer.
Do you think that would also...
That's capitalism, brother. That's capitalism right there.
No, yeah, I agree.
All the problems are capitalism.
Do you think that solution, while I agree 100%, it would increase the overall health availability for everyone? Do you think it would reduce the amount of like continued progress we make in like medical research? We're
not the ones making progress in medical research right now. Capitalism doesn't produce progress in medical research anymore? Nope.
Damn.
No.
I have to look into that then. Shit.
Yeah.
It's news to me.
You should, yeah, because you're an idiot.
No, I'm giving me.
And like all advancements have always been in the public sector, my friend. Like you're talking to me on the internet. Do you know how the internet was created?
For porn.
You're such a fucking stupid. I said, do you know how it was created?
Well, initially by the government, but
yes, it's always by the government, my friend. All good things in your life were created by the government. Capitalism just fucks them over.
Damn.
Well, I mean, fucking give me an example of something good capitalism has done.
Definitely, I agree with you 100% that capitalism definitely gets to that point where like the lobbyists are basically running everything and making a lot of the moves for.
Yeah, we should outlaw that.
And I am 100% in agreement with you on that. Like that's a pretty big issue where the lobbyists have much more power than the actual voters.
It seems like you're doing the bidding of the fucking billionaires.
What am I doing to do that?
Why'd you ask me about vouchers, man?
Why did I ask you about what?
Vouchers in terms of schools. Why'd you tell me Justice Thomas was your favorite justice? Like your opinions are being bought.
But I didn't think that I had heard any sort of other better solution to fund it. But I agree.
That's the first thing I fucking said.
Currently funding was shit.
The first thing I said. I just, man, like, I don't understand why you gotta have opinions on shit you really don't know about.
Well, I want to have I have like the Boy Scout mindset where I kind of dive a little bit into a lot of things versus diving completely into like one or two or three things, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, don't do that. Like that's
a little
fucking.
bit
There's even a
about
quote
a lot
about that:
versus
a jack of all
a
trades
lot
and a master of none. Yada yada yada.
Well,
you don't have opinions on shit you don't know about.
I'd rather know a little bit about a lot than a lot.
But do you like anime?
A little. Yeah, I like anime.
Okay, what's your favorite anime?
I like. Oh shoot, what is it called?
You don't even know the fucking name.
I'm trying to think of it. Well, I know other animes like Death Note and like some other ones, but
I asked you your favorite anime and you couldn't fucking even say it.
It's the one with the time traveling.
I don't know shit about anime, and that's what I was gonna say. Like, would you like me to show up and start talking about anime like I was informed when I know goddamn nothing about it?
I love that. I'm okay with that kind of thing.
But I don't know anything about it.
That's your temperament. Okay, doesn't mean we can't have any sort of conversation about it.
But what if I just came in and started saying things that were blatantly false, and you know for a fact they're false?
Well, then I would have the knowledge to correct you.
And I do. I keep correcting you, and you don't fucking.
I feel like I'm learning. I feel like we're getting somewhere, or at least I feel.
Are you learning?
Coming back to you.
Are you learning?
Yeah, I'm gonna go look.
Have you watched my show? You called me a crackhead.
Yes.
You called me You've called me a pedophile and a crackhead, by the way.
That was I was kind of going sparring back and forth with you, and I'm sorry.
I love how you called me a crackhead while saying there was no evidence, or I mean, you called me a pedophile while saying that it was wrong with me to call Trump a pedophile.
Credibly accusing you the same way you're credibly accusing Trump.
No, you're not. There is no credible evidence that I'm a pedophile. Well, there's a mountain of credible evidence that Trump is a pedophile.
Credibly accusing as like weasel words, so I was just using the same weasel words, and I apologize because it was probably unfounded, and I wasn't meaning to hurt your feelings or nothing.
You didn't hurt my feelings, my friend. It's just wild that you're that fucking stupid. Like I'm baffled by this.
I really am glad to hear that you no longer do that stuff. That's some nasty
stuff.
No
longer do what?
I have a friend that used to partake in the crack, and I'm really glad he's not doing that anymore. I'm really glad you.
Brother, what do you know about drugs?
Yeah, drugs in general are probably.
If you think I'm a crackhead, you're getting owned by a crackhead. You understand that, right?
No, I don't think you're currently a crackhead, and I'm very happy.
I was never a crackhead.
Individual.
But you certainly wanted to try to paint me as that, so you could dismiss me.
I just thought you acknowledged.
Just like you wanted to say that Justice Thomas is your favorite justice, so that you can deflect claims of racism, even though I have proper claims of racism.
But he is my favorite justice.
But you know nothing about him. Why would you even have a favorite justice? What the fuck do you know about law?
Because of the rulings where he's the one on the side like against the majority. Those decisions are the ones that I like him about, and his opinions and whatnot. Like I said,
brother, your vibes. You what you are describing is you want to operate on vibes. Yeah, Samson is an attorney and doesn't have a favorite
to
justice.
be fair, though, I think that's a large degree how like normies and like people in general.
It's a large degree of how most people operate, and it's maddening to those of us who actually know what's going on because you're all fucking idiots.
Especially when it doesn't like always completely work, because like I feel like there was a really, really great vibe behind Kamala Harris, but it didn't really like pull her all the way through.
Okay, I can't help vibes, man. I can't help Elon Musk spent $300 million to get idiots like you hyped up about Trump.
Man, he didn't even need to do that. All he had to do was go on.
He kind of did, man.
Pissing my pants.
He did kind of need to spend $300 million. We talked about this earlier. She was trouncing Trump. And after the convention, after the debate was a solid W for Harris. And then she just fucked it up by campaigning with Dick Cheney's daughter.
Why do you think that was the move? Why do you think she did that?
To try to appeal to right-wingers.
To like rhinos?
Brother, here's the thing, man, is Democrats don't really like leftists. They don't vote. They're not dependable voters. So we drift further and further right in our politics because the most dependable voters are right-wingers. So the Democrats, because Harris is bought and paid for by big corporations. Liberals they believe in market solutions, right? Harris had a lot of big dollar donors. So did Trump. Both of them, mega corporations behind them.
100%. They're very corporate.
So Harris's only thing that she could do, because she couldn't come out and actually a populist message like Mamdani and say, well, I'm going to freeze rent, or I'm going to propose a UBI, or I'm going to expand health care. She couldn't do any of those things because she was tied by her donors that didn't want any of those things. They don't want to raise the minimum wage. They don't want to provide health care. But that's the Democratic base is demanding those things, and the Democrats aren't delivering, and that's why the Democrats are in the toilet right now.
I couldn't agree more. I feel like she like promised change, but at the same time was promising more of the same. Like you're
yeah. She was promising a return to the neoliberal order. And people are saying that the system is broken. We have to move away from capitalism. But unfortunately, because my coalition was fractured over a number of issues, we couldn't prevent the fucking fascists from taking over.
What do you think is happening now amongst the Democrats? Do you think that infighting is still going on, or do you think you're coalescing together better?
I think it's too early to tell about that. The leadership still has their heads up their ass, but I think the rank and file get it.
I personally, I feel like the next midterms aren't probably, like, I think they might get back the House.
Well, it's clearly, no. It is clear that Republicans are trying to rig it to where Democrats can't win. Because the Republicans are so in the toilet.
Yeah, I definitely think that the Republicans, like you're saying, are pulling out all the stops to try to hold on for dear life, like you're saying.
Yeah, they're trying to rig it. They're doing everything they can to rig it to where the Democrats can't win back power. That should scare the shit out of you.
Nah, not too much, really. I feel like even if they...
Because you're an idiot. Because you've never studied history and you don't know what fascist regimes are like.
I don't think they're going to completely get rid of, like, the elections, and I think that's just going to swing the populace back.
Oh, great, man. We're going to be like Russia, and we're going to have fake elections where they keep electing the same dictator. Fucking great. Bravo. Good job. You're amazing, brother.
How old is Trump? Do you really think he's going to live even too much longer?
He is literally talking about running for a third term.
I understand that it's a scary thought, but I really think he's just trolling to freak out people. I really don't.
He's not, you dipshit. You're an idiot. And here's the thing. If any Democrat did that, if Obama was out there talking about how he had a third term when he was in office, right wingers would have lost their fucking minds. So please stop being a goddamn hypocrite.
I can send you a clip of Obama saying, if I could just run a third term, maybe have some puppet out there, and I'm pulling all the strings from behind, I would do that. And there's like a video of that, right?
That never happened.
I'll send you the video right now.
It is fake, I assure you, you stupid piece of shit. As someone who does the news, I can tell you for 100% certainty, if that clip exists, that is fake. I assure you, that doesn't even sound like Obama. Why would you lie? Why would you lie? Why would you lie? Oh my God. What'd you say, Obama? I could run third term.
I just put it in the chat.
Yes, this is 100% fake, you absolute fucking moron.
Grabian.
You don't trust
the multimedia
Snopes?
marketplace.
We missed you.
Thank you.
These last 4
Oh, it's Colbert!
Did you ever look at someone going,
Oh my God!
He was joking, but I think Trump...
Holy shit! Oh my fucking God!
That freaked out a lot of people on the right, similar to how I think Trump is freaking out a lot of people on the left. I really don't think Trump is actually wanting to go a third term now. I think he's too...
He already attacked the government to try to stay in power, you dipshit.
And then he left.
I'm sorry, just because his coup failed?
Yeah, he tried the legal coup. Didn't work.
He didn't try a legal coup. He tried an illegal coup. He committed treason. He attacked this country.
Well, he did it through the legal process. That's why I said...
No, he didn't.
He didn't?
Hang Mike Pence isn't the legal process, you dipshit.
Trump didn't say that.
His supporters did. Oh my God.
Oh yeah, I 100% agree. His supporters are retarded, especially the ones that did the whole riot thing. That was literally against the whole Eastman plan that he was trying to do through the legal process.
No. They had to hold up the certification in order to do the Eastman plan. You stupid God damn. And man, you're just casually talking about attacking our goddamn country.
Oh, like I said,
you're like dismissing a coup attempt.
I condemned the riot. I pointed out that he was doing...
No, you didn't. You voted for Trump, did you not? You voted for Trump in 2024, did you not?
I did not. And then they...
Well, okay. At least like you're not a complete fucking stupid dipshit.
And then, like, I already told you that too.
I have no idea.
It was on the last stream. Rewatch it.
No. You're a waste of time, dude.
The last stream,
I don't care. I don't care. Like, man.
No, and then after he unsuccessfully did it, they changed the law to where he wouldn't be able to try that legal avenue again.
You keep saying legal avenue as if it was normal.
Yeah, you know the
he committed a coup. He tried a coup.
Hawaii.
He tried a coup, man. Coup.
It's not the exact same legal theory, but
it's a coup. God, brother, man, I can't. You're too fucking stupid, dude. I can't do this.
Okay, well, I'll get off, but like I said...
But man, like, do you not see the difference? Like, you treat a coup as if it was nothing.
Well, I feel like an example, if you had, like, actually brought in the National Guard against Nancy Pelosi's will, and then like had them do stuff
like he's doing now.
Done something similar to
like he's doing in Washington D.C. right fucking now.
That's under his purview though, like to clean up the city. Like if
he's not cleaning up the city. It is pretext for a federal takeover. It is a violation of posse comitatus. You'd know this if you knew anything about the fucking law, but you don't care.
There's different.
You are a fascist, dude. You're rooting on a fascist taking over our country, and I don't really like that.
Okay, well, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to get into any sort of fight with you. I'm just trying to show you my.
It's really like, brother, we've got a fascist in office. It's not going to be good for you.
I mean, to be fair, if that's the case, it's not going to be good for anyone, especially with
Democrats. Yes, motherfucker. It's not going to be. Well, it's going to be good for Trump and his buddies that they're enriching themselves.
I just feel like also like the Democrats really, like I said, should stop probably pushing for gun control. If
Why? I fucking every other country in this fucking world has got the problem under control.
If Trump isn't actually a fascist, you want the people to have the arms and the capability to rise up against said fascists if they're doing fascist.
We're not anti-gun. Once again, Marx said any means to disarm the proletariat should be exhausted.
Against the Republicans or the Democrats that are calling for gun control when Trump is doing the whole.
Why are you concerned with guns?
Because if any sort of government, whether it's left wing, right wing, some sort of weird center party, gets into power and they start doing tyrannical stuff, I feel like
they're doing tyrannical stuff now. Where are you with your guns?
Is the best.
Where are you with your guns, brother? Where are you with your? They're doing tyrannical stuff now.
Not to me. As soon as it.
Not to you, eh? As long as it's not to you, it's cool.
The thing is that's the whole reason of why they're targeting communities that like don't legally have the ability to have guns right now, because they're not likely to target communities that have guns because they don't want to.
Well, no. They say they're going after gangs in order to get dipshits like you on board, but they're clearly not going after gangs because nobody's getting shot, right?
Well, not completely, but yeah, for the most part, I feel like they're.
Yeah, they're going after little old ladies that work at hotels and shit.
Yep, anyone that they find that's a.
And you're cheering that on, I guess. Where's you and your gun right now?
Well, I don't see how that has anything to do with me. That they're.
I know you don't see how it has anything to do with
immigration law.
You don't see how fucking trampling anybody, brother.
Back to Bernie Sanders.
Multiple citizens have been detained. Multiple citizens have been detained.
How many have been deported?
A couple of citizens have been deported.
Like the children with their parents, or like otherwise?
Okay, that the children were the parent was forced under duress to leave. So, like, brother, yes. You're making excuses. You're making excuses.
Stay with the parent or not. That's like the choice, and they're given the choice, which I think is very nice.
Yeah, Trump's wanting to take guns away from trans people. Already talking about it right now. Where are you with your gun?
That. I am completely against. If they come for the trannies, the bullets start flying. They haven't done that. They just threatened to it.
Wow. Brother, you're an idiot.
Honestly, the way that you would even have that be a thing is if you're actually adjudicated mentally deficient transgender person. But
Trump is acting outside the law right now. He's firing people he has no right to fire. He's detaining people he has no right to detain.
I thought the Supreme Court just ruled he was good to fire those people. Is he not?
They are allowing him to fire the FTC chair for now while they hear her case. That she's allowed to remain fired, which once again, we're going back to a corrupt Supreme Court. You should be against that. Corporations are the biggest problem in your life, and you're like sucking corporate cock.
Power to like fire people under his purview.
Do what?
I just really thought the president had like a lot of power, or at least almost ultimate power to fire people under his purview.
No. Like Lisa Cuck, who is accused of mortgage fraud. She has a 14-year term. She was just appointed like 2 years ago. That is an independent. That board is supposed to be independent from the president.
Yeah, it sounds like he's not wanting that.
Yeah, it sounds like you don't know what you're talking about, which is the problem over and over and over again. Now I'm gonna get off here and actually educate people because this fucking call has been like mind numbing.
Well, I appreciate you talking to me, and if you want to pick a topic that I can call in another time, I'll look.
But you don't know anything about anything.
Well,
I want you to stop having opinions on shit you know nothing about. And you should totally watch my show instead of just like...
That's definitely not going to happen, and I will definitely watch your show.
Why? Why would you have opinions on shit you don't know about?
Is there any other sources of knowledge that you want me to look into?
Why? Read some fucking books. Go to a college. Take some goddamn... If you want, go take some philosophy classes.
What's a good book I should read?
A People's History of the United States is a great place to start, but you would love philosophy class.
I'll look into that.
Go fucking...
A college philosophy class.
Sign up for college, take philosophy classes, and have your fucking beliefs challenged.
I'm open to that. That's why I'm on here. And like I said, thank you for taking my call, and I'll look into that book you mentioned.
Samson will give you a reading list. He's in the Discord, guys, if you want to give him a reading list. All right, have a good one, Tash. JK Free, welcome in, my friend. Oh. I'm not high enough. I need to get more high. Welcome to anybody else. Torchy. My lord, welcome in. I just don't get it. That's my mission in life. I know it's not a popular sentiment, but stop having opinions on shit you know nothing about. I don't go into places and tell people about sporty ball because I don't know shit about it. And when I do talk to friends about sporty ball. I was talking to my friend about baseball the other day, and he's like, can you even name a current player? And I was like, Alex Rodriguez. And he's like, yep, that's what I thought. I can now because I played MLB The Show. Shohei Ohtani. Yeah. Motherfucker's badass. Today was supposed to be the rapture. I think there's still some time. Because it could happen tomorrow, right? It was the 23rd and the 24th. Trump telling countries all over the world they are going to hell.
You have to end it now, Sid. I can tell you. I'm really good at this stuff. Your countries are going to hell. In America, we've taken bold action to swiftly shut down uncontrolled migration. You have to end it now, Sid. I can tell you.
Oh, yeah. We're talking about migrants, of course.
Really good at this stuff. Your countries are going to hell. In America, we've taken bold action to swiftly shut down uncontrolled migration. You have to end it now, Sid. I can tell you.
Your countries are going to hell. An intellectual energy vampire. Well, like sucking the intellectual energy out of the room. It made us all dumber, right? Well, funny you should mention that, Torgy. UN escalator stops as Trump First Lady get on. White House demands firing if deliberate.
Ned Price is a former senior State Department and CIA official, and Jonathan Capehart is co-host of MSNBC's The Weekend. So, Ned, look, the President of the United States in front of world leaders and said the U.S. is basically pointless. Criticism of the UN is not new. Let's say that. But help us wrap our minds around the way he said it and where he said it.
No, you're right, Chris. Criticism of the UN is not new. It's also, by the way, not unwarranted.
They're not showing the. Where's this? Okay, here we go. Here's the escalator. Stops just as soon as he gets on.
President Trump, why did you cancel the meeting with Chuck Schumer?
NATO airspace. Mr. President. Why did you cancel the meeting? Do you still believe in the UN? What's going to fix the country recognizing Palestine?
President Trump, why did you cancel the meeting with Chuck Schumer?
Tensions escalated at the United Nations on Tuesday after President Donald Trump and First Lady Melania Trump came to an abrupt halt at the start of an escalator ride. Someone at the UN intentionally stopped the escalator as the President and First Lady were stepping on. They need to be fired and investigated immediately. This is according to Caroline Levitt. In her post, Levitt shared a screenshot from an article published in The Times, a British newspaper. To mark Trump's arrival, UN staff members have joked that they may turn off the escalators and elevators and simply tell him they ran out of money, so he has to walk up the stairs. UN's 80th General Assembly kicked off on Monday, and leaders from around the world gathered under the same roof. It's unclear whether the malfunction was deliberate. The office of the spokesperson for the UN Secretary General did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Oh, I'm sure it was something like innocuous like that. They didn't do it on purpose. False flag elevator. Apparently the relationship with him and Putin, I'm sorry, I had two different versions of this video. Apparently I picked a really grainy one. Here we go. Much better version of this. We can see how orange Trump is.
Too, and they've proven that. Maybe it's it could be that Russia's a paper tiger. I don't know what they are, but 3.5 years of fighting and killing everybody, of killing 7,000 people a week for nothing. So it's a very sad situation, but most of you have seen the recent statement I put out a little while ago, and I'm glad you got it. But I feel that way. I really do feel that way. Let them get their land back. Yep. So we'll see how it all works out. And in the meantime, I hear the other side can fight too, and they've proven that.
Trump pulling a complete about face and saying that Ukraine can take all their land back and apparently can take some more land from Russia. Also, don't forget, Jimmy Kimmel coming on at 11:35 p.m. Eastern Time. We're going to watch it live on Kick and DEI. Does he have the balls to say something? I don't think he does. I'd say he doesn't. He'll come on and be like, oh, so did anything happen to anybody last week? And then not even mention it and move on. What do you guys think? Is he gonna address it? South Park tomorrow night. Are they gonna address it? I'm assuming he doesn't have any balls. So that's coming at you in about 2 hours. I didn't, if you stuck around the other night for Jon Stewart's piece, I thought it was pretty feckless. But it fit well in what the Daily Show would usually do, so. And you got to admit, like, Jon Stewart stepped up, was like, if somebody is going to get canned for this, it's going to be me and not one of the other writers or hosts. Trump now says Ukraine can take all their land back from Russia.
But first, we do dive deeper into President Trump saying he believes Ukraine can take back all of its territory from Russian forces. CBS News reporter Olivia Gazis joins us now. And Olivia, thank you very much for joining us here. You know, it was only 6 weeks ago that President Trump was saying there would be land swapping with Ukraine and Russia. What has happened since then that might explain this reversal we're seeing?
Absolutely, Nancy. As you just showed there appears to be an extraordinary pivot on the part of President Trump that made it appear to take many delegates here by surprise. He gave little indication that it was his mindset even this morning during those extended remarks during the General Assembly or during his brief encounter just before going into his meeting with President Zelensky, but he clearly came out of that meeting with an altered view, and we're still working to learn what exactly transpired during the hour that the two leaders were meeting. President Zelensky did meet with reporters immediately following that encounter. He said he wouldn't share details of the conversation, but he was glad that President Trump had good information and that he could absolutely be a game changer in altering the course of this conflict. Now, as you've noted, President Trump has shifted his position on this conflict in the past, and there's no explicit novel U.S. commitment mentioned in the statement that he made, more than it was the expression of a very newfound opinion. One thing that did also markedly shift was his description of his relationship with Vladimir Putin. He's no longer extolling it as the key to ending this conflict. In fact, he said that relationship didn't mean anything.
Very interesting choice of words there coming out of the UN today, Olivia. And also President Trump met with several European leaders today. What did they say about the war in Ukraine, and how do they fit into what happens next here?
Yes, he's had back-to-back meetings with leaders from across the world. Earlier today, he met with the head of the EU Commission, Ursula von der Leyen, with the French President, Emmanuel Macron. Mr. Macron also said that this new stance on Ukraine is the right one. He agreed that the Russian economy was suffering greatly, and he said it was a common objective for the U.S. and Europe to see this conflict ended in a just and sustainable way. Ms. von der Leyen also said that President Trump was right in pushing the Europeans to reduce their dependency on Russian energy imports. We know that the bloc has reduced those significantly as a whole, but there are still outliers in Slovakia and in Hungary. Notably, President Trump was also asked about Hungary and whether he had asked Prime Minister there, Viktor Orban, to reduce his consumption of Russian energy. President Trump said he hadn't spoken to him, but he called him a friend and said he probably might if he gave him a call. The two leaders may in fact hold a call in the near future.
Olivia Gazis reporting there from UN headquarters in New York. Olivia, thank you.
I mean, if there has ever been a time to release the P-tape, now is the time, right? Putin, do you have it? Russia, can you hear me? We would love to see I kind of have a P fetish. I'd love to see the P-tape. Also, release the Epstein files. Russia, release the Epstein files. We know you have them. Come on. Accuse me of treason, bitch. Put me in alligator Alcatraz. I dare you. Yeah, what if they end up releasing the P-tape and it's just me pissing in Dan Crenshaw's open eye hole? Give me that eye, pussy, Congressman. You don't hear much from Crenshaw anymore. Trump sat down with Emmanuel Macron earlier, was asked about Palestinian statehood.
Their hostages back. We've gotten all of the American hostages, as you know, and Alexander, all of them have been back. Steve Witkoff's done a great job, and Marco always, and everybody. I mean, we have Scott got involved and strongly involved, and from a financial standpoint, we're doing some things that are pretty good. We put Iran out of commission, very important. That was called the bully of the Middle East, and they're out of commission. Now we're going to have a meeting today. I think it's going to be a successful meeting with all of the leaders of many of the biggest, I would say the most important countries having to do with Gaza, indirectly and directly. And that's going to take place just in a little while. So I'm sure you'll be there and we could have an outcome very quickly.
Why do you believe the recognition of Palestine is a gift to Hamas?
Well, I think it honors Hamas, and you can't do that because of October 7th. You just can't do that. But we want our hostages back, and we don't want them back in ones and twos and take the next 2 years to do it. We were the ones that got the hostages back. And I always said, I told Steve, I told Marco, I was always saying the last hostages are going to be the toughest ones. But you can't honor them by doing anything like you suggest. All you can do is say, we want our hostages back, and we want the war to end. We're going to want it to end. But you always have to remember, people forget October 7th was one of the most savage days in the history of the world. There's never been anything like that. We're talking about babies being sliced in half. You're talking about young children having their heads chopped off. You can't forget that.
They put babies in microwaves. They ate the cats and the dogs.
I think it's why yesterday 11 countries did recognize Palestine. Not as, I mean, it was not a decision taken like that, neither by UK nor by Canada nor by France. It's just a big change. President Trump is totally right. Nobody forgets the 7th of October. I went there a few days after, taking families in my hands, and we experienced all together these horrific attacks. And by the way,
Macron was there in the rubble, just like Trump after 9/11.
In these terrorist attacks. But after almost 2 years of war, what is the result? Once again, they killed the top leaders of Hamas. It works. This is a great achievement. But at the same time, you have as many Hamas fighters as you had the first day. So it doesn't work to dismantle the Hamas. This is not the right way to proceed. So we need a full-fledged process, and we worked very hard on the day after, and I totally share this sequencing. The release of all hostages, the ceasefire, resume of humanitarian aid, the day after in Gaza to stabilize the land, and we need a political perspective, and this is why we took this decision on recognition.
Well, I have to say that I'm on the side of Israel. I've been on the side of Israel really my whole life. And we are going to get a solution, and it's going to be a solution hopefully that's good for everybody. But it's time to stop. We're going to have that very important meeting. I think the meeting we have coming up in the next hour is going to be one of the most important meetings that we'll have here. And we've had some important meetings. We've had some great meetings.
Really big, important meetings.
I understand where
bigly meetings,
where other people are too, and we just have to get this solved. We have to get the hostages back. We want to get the war over. That's very important. We're going to end the war, get the hostages back, and we want them all back. We don't want to have one and then we'll give another two in about 3 months from now. We've been doing that for a long time. And in all fairness, we've gotten a lot of hostages back. But you have 20 hostages.
Oh, my God.
38 bodies, dead bodies. And the people that I see, and I speak to Israeli families. I was speaking to American families.
I feel like this clip was only 2 minutes.
But I speak to Israeli families, and they want the son who died. They want their dead son back as much as
it's 4 minutes.
Alive. And it's an amazing thing to see, and it's a horrible thing actually to witness, but I've seen it a lot. So they have 20 hostages, they have 38 dead bodies, and we have to have them back, and we have to have them back immediately. Thank you very much, everybody.
Thank you, Brad. Thank you so much.
That 68,000 number, JK, that's from like a year and a half ago. And dozens and dozens have died every day since, if not hundreds. Unfortunately, we've got some breaking news. The aid flotilla is approaching Gaza right now, so guess what? That means it's come under attack. This was the Israeli Foreign Ministry about 12 hours ago. We were sorry to hear the response from the Hamas flotilla representative that the flotilla insists on pursuing a violent course of action and refuses our proposal to transfer in a coordinated and peaceful manner any aid that might be aboard the flotilla to the Gaza Strip via the nearby Ashkelon Marina. The response once again highlights the insincerity of the flotilla members and their mission to serve Hamas rather than the people in Gaza. If the flotilla continues to reject Israel's peaceful proposal, Israel will take the necessary measure to prevent its entry into combat zone and to stop any violation of a lawful naval blockade, while making every possible effort to ensure the safety of its passengers. We reiterate, if your intentions, everything is Hamas.
Condemn.
Your intentions are sincere. Transfer any such aid to the Ashkelon Marina so it can be forwarded promptly to the Gaza Strip in a peaceful and nonviolent manner. The Global Summit Flotilla reports explosions as drones fly overhead. They reported explosions and communications jamming as drones hovered overhead early on Wednesday morning. Israel has promised to stop the Gaza-bound flotilla, claiming that the vessels are trying to breach a lawful naval blockade. Brazilian activist Tiago Avila, who is sailing with the flotilla, has said that a 10th explosion has now been recorded near the fleet. We just heard the 10th explosion. They still didn't stop attacking our mission, Avila said in a video shared from on board one of the fleet's vessels. I do have the flotilla pulled up over here. Their Twitter has been posting videos. I don't know if all of them are up yet. Let's go to those. Also, if you'd like to follow them, donate to the cause. This is up on Instagram. Have other videos of the incident. This video of Gaza. Over the past few hours, more than 15 drones have hovered above the Alma boat at low altitudes, appearing roughly every 10 minutes. We believe these drones are intended to intimidate and potentially gathering intelligence for Israel. Oh, here we go.
Everyone, we need your help. We just heard the 10th explosion. They still didn't stop attacking our mission, the Global Summit Flotilla, a humanitarian non-violent solidarity mission to break the siege and to create a humanitarian corridor for the Palestinian people in Gaza. They are targeting the small sailing vessels of our mission. They're trying to destroy their sails, but they are using devices that have the capacity to injure people and to damage the boats. It's very important that we share this to the world. Our humanitarian mission, protected by international law, is being attacked. They still didn't stop the attack. 10 of our boats have been targeted already. So it's very important that we apply the biggest pressure we can in governments everywhere to make sure that we are guaranteed a safe passage. They need to understand that we continue going on our mission because we know it's the right thing to do, because we have international law on our side and the conscience of the world on our side. But we need to make sure that they pay a huge price for these attacks. If they understand that they can go without having any backlash, without having any accountability, we go into a very more vulnerable situation. So we need to apply the maximum pressure right now. We count on you for the safety of all the hundreds of people that are here, for the dozens of boats that are here, to go into the solidarity mission with the Palestinian people. Please apply the maximum pressure now. The Global Summit Flotilla is under attack and we need to stop it.
UN rights expert calls for immediate protection for the flotilla. Francesca Albanese, the UN Special Rapporteur on the occupied Palestinian territory, has called for immediate international attention and protection of the summoned flotilla. In post shared on X, the Albanese, who has been following the fleet's movement closely, noted that ships have been attacked at least 7 times in a short span. Boats hit with sound bombs, explosive flares, and sprayed with suspected chemicals. Radios jammed, calls for help blocked. 43 minutes ago. Most of the fleet is now sailing together after setting sail from ports in Tunisia, Greece, and other countries. According to the Global Summoned Flotilla live tracker, they are passing southwest of the Greek Isle of Crete. As we've been reporting, the ships have been experiencing jamming to their very high-frequency radios. They have vowed to continue sailing despite experiencing attacks with flashbangs and an unidentified chemical substance in the last couple of hours. That is the latest. If you'd like to keep up with what's going on, this is the Al Jazeera. They are not armed. For purposes that, like, you know, it's a war crime. If they are attacked, they're not armed on purpose, which... Because they come in peace. They're just trying to break the blockade. We are 7 days away from a shutdown. Trump yesterday agreeing to a meeting with Democratic leadership. Tonight, backing out of that meeting with Democratic leadership. President Trump on Tuesday canceled a meeting with Democratic congressional leaders aimed at preventing a government shutdown, saying their demands were ridiculous and that no meeting could be productive. The decision, unless it is reversed, means Trump will not meet with Senate Minority Leader Charles Schumer and House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries on Thursday and greatly increases the chance of a shutdown on October 1st. After reviewing the details of the unserious and ridiculous demands being made by the minority radical left Democrats in return for their votes to keep our thriving country open, I have decided that no meeting with their congressional leaders could possibly be productive. He then outlined a litany of policies he says Democrats are backing that aren't popular with the general public and thus helped him get elected. I look forward to meeting with them if they get serious about the future of our nation. We must keep the government open and legislate like true patriots rather than hold American citizens hostage. Knowing that they want our now thriving country closed, I'll be happy to meet with them if they agree to the principles in this letter. Democrats boasted Trump's decision, arguing he would be to blame if the government did shut down on October 1st. Trump always chickens out. Donald Trump just canceled a high-stakes meeting in the Oval Office with myself and Chucky Boy Schumer. Jeffries posted on X. I said Chucky Boy, not Jeffries. The extremists want to shut the government, or want to shut down the government because they are unwilling to address the Republican healthcare crisis that is devastating America. The Department of Homeland Security says it will not. I don't think I had the chance to do this story, I think twice. I think it got cut out on Sunday and then cut off last night when my power went out. That's the wild thing. I turned everything off and sat here. My power didn't go out while it was storming like a motherfucker. I get on and the power goes out after it stopped storming. Insanity. The DHS says it won't comply with California's new law that bans officers from wearing face masks.
Well, in a nutshell, it comes down to the following question. Can state government approve a law telling federal officers what they can and cannot do, or in this case, what they can and cannot wear?
States' rights, bitches.
Says, absolutely not.
We will not comply.
Acting U.S. Attorney Bill Essayli, on behalf of the Trump administration, sending that message loud and clear to Governor Gavin Newsom, just days after the governor signed a bill to prohibit law enforcement officers from covering their faces during most operations in California.
We're just not going to put up with it.
Essayli echoing this post from the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, stating California does not have the legal authority to enact or enforce a state law directing federal officers how they can operate.
They have absolutely no jurisdiction. They have no say over the affairs of the federal government. They don't get to tell us how to do our job. That's not how this works.
SB 627, the anti-masking law. Thank you.
During his signing ceremony Saturday, Newsom said the legislation is in response to federal immigration operations statewide.
ICE, unmask. What are you afraid of?
Yeah.
What are you afraid of? Provide an ID. Tell us which agency you represent. Provide us basic information that all local law enforcement is required to provide.
He asked the question, what are they afraid of? Well, I'll tell you what they're afraid of. They're afraid of being doxxed. They're afraid of being followed home. They're afraid of being confronted at their homes. They're afraid of their family members being accosted and assaulted.
Really?
Whether he believes the state legislation can apply to federal officers. His response?
The Supremacy Clause doesn't give blanket immunity to state laws. Quite the contrary. I'll give you just as an aside, an example. Federal employees have to abide by traffic rules.
Most rights are left to the states. But when we are dealing with law enforcement of the federal government, those are subject to the whims and the dictates of the federal government, not the states.
And important to note, the California Highway Patrol was specifically exempt from this law. As for federal law enforcement, even if they do not comply, local law enforcement will be required to. The law takes effect next summer. At the state capitol, Tom Wallace, KTLA 5 News.
Our buddy Tash summed it up perfectly when I'm talking about all the people whose rights are being violated. Well, it doesn't affect me. Not affecting my rights. Such a right-wing position. ICE out here assaulting potential congressional candidates, or I guess she is a congressional candidate now. This is, I'm gonna fuck her name up. Kat Abu Ghazela. Apparently a YouTuber. I have no idea who she is. She was assaulted by ICE in Chicago.
This was, as I said, the third time that ICE has done this to me. It's probably the most violent occasion of throwing me to the ground. But essentially, a car was about to run over a fellow protester. And so I went to check on that person. And that was all the justification an officer needed to pick me up and throw me to the ground.
God, that could give her problems like the rest of her life. That she may not even feel the ramifications of it for years. The way they threw her on her hip.
Was, as I said, the third time that ICE has done this to me. It's probably the most violent occasion of throwing me to the ground. But essentially, a car was about to run over a fellow protester. And so I went to check on that person. And that was all the justification an officer needed to pick me up and throw me to the ground, despite being half his size. And what I really want to stress here is that is what these officers are willing to do when there is press and cameras around. The reason we are protesting at this facility is because they are committing human rights abuses within the Broadview processing facility. It is a processing facility, so people are not supposed to be kept there for more than 12 hours at a time, but they are being kept for days or weeks without beds, without hot meals, without hygienic products. And if they are willing to do that to a congressional candidate on camera in front of press, imagine what they are willing to do to their detainees behind boarded up windows. This was, as I said, the third.
I had a profile, an interview she did maybe a month or two ago when she announced, and I just never got the chance to play it because fucking news be doing crazy shit. So I was aware of her. But that was actually the first time I'd ever heard her speak. Because I do, honest to God, save all the news items for like watching or reading with you guys. I try to stay oblivious when I am not on stream. Other than clicking headlines that I see that like might be interesting, but I don't get the full thing. I'm not a pre-watch Andy. I do music, wrestling, cooking. That's the kind of shit that I watch outside of politics. I like YouTube video essays about pop songs and last night I watched one on Michael Jackson and why Come Together is the only Beatles song he covered, despite the fact that he owned half the catalog. I watched another one on like the making of the song Californication, like shit like that. Shit that reminds me a lot of VH1 from the mid-90s. So I try to stay oblivious. A plot to dismantle New York City network was thwarted, according to the Secret Service. It apparently had a server farm that could have took down New York City's cell phone networks.
We begin with a foiled plot that could have potentially crippled New York City's cell network as world leaders gather here at the United Nations. The Secret Service says agents found more than 100,000 SIM cards and 300 servers in multiple locations throughout the tri-state area. The sophisticated equipment could have disabled cell towers, inhibited emergency responses, or been used for surveillance.
The plot is believed to be connected to the Chinese government, but it is still unclear exactly who was responsible and what all of this equipment was meant to do and whether there was a specific target.
So we don't actually know anything. Is that what we're saying? I don't know that we can trust the Secret Service on this.
Witness News reporter Darla Miles is on the east side with the story. Darla.
Joe and Tanya, this is an especially terrifying development just as more than 150 world leaders are gathering in New York City for the UN General Assembly. But what the Secret Service found is that they walked into these empty apartments and there were many data systems. The lights were blinking. They were completely up and running. Right now, it's a race against the clock to find out who is behind these data centers and if there are any more of them out there.
This network had the potential to disable cell phone towers and essentially shut down the cellular network in New York City.
When they say that, it had the potential, what they mean is like the equivalent of a DDoS attack, right? Like overloading the system. It had the potential to do that, but that's not what they were doing. It was probably some sort of bot farm. They may have found out who's posting all the right-wing nonsense on Twitter.
High-speed wireless networking equipment eerily left behind on the hardwood floor of a vacant apartment. The same setup discovered in another vacant apartment. The Secret Service uncovering a plot to shut down cell phone services for the nearly 20 million people who live and work in New York City.
Yeah, DJ Dub, you are the person who has the most experience with this sort of thing. Probably calculating if all of them were sending data at full data rate, they might disrupt the network. Yeah, like a DDoS style attack. They were probably bot farm, doing some kind of scam call, sending scam emails maybe. Oh yeah, DJ Dub, I explained this to a news anchor one time. He had done a story about how many pounds of marijuana, like what the street value was. And I said, well, when they're telling you street value of marijuana, they're basically breaking it down to like $20 a gram at the high end. And then they're multiplying it by the grams. But that's not how it works, right? Like, I'm a pothead. I go buy an ounce. I'm not paying $20 a gram. I'm paying fucking, a tenth of that. You get a discount the more you go up. And they do that to inflate their numbers and make it seem like they're busting a bigger operation than what they actually are. I have seen, as a news reporter, I've seen law enforcement do this for years.
Making this announcement as a matter of public interest given timing, amount, and concentration of material recovered.
The special agent in charge of the New York field office, in a very rare move, disclosing the details of what started out as an investigation into threats to President Trump's inner circle of family and advisors.
The Secret Service, investigating these swatting calls, traced these phone signals down to a number of locations. They found 300 servers connected to 100,000 SIM cards.
These are the servers or modems with antennas and SIM cards already set up to send 30 million text messages a minute, creating what is called a denial of service attack, causing systems to crash and creating a pathway for hackers to steal data.
You have a denial of service attack or you override a system. What's the purpose? What's the end goal? And being that some of the evidence is pointed to foreign actors.
Yeah, I wondered how Secret Service got involved in this. So now we know that somehow threats were sent to the president through this network.
Chinese in particular, what were they doing? And what was going to be the next step?
And federal investigators say these nefarious data centers were so powerful they could impact everyone within a 35-mile radius of New York City.
Think of it like a terrorist cell. This is one cell that they disrupted. There's got to be others because, people are still getting spam phone texts.
He's saying terrorist cell now.
With this.
Okay, now knowing what I know from this story, we know about the Russian operations in 2016, right? Their, Facebook posts to try to keep us divided. China's been doing the same thing also since 2016, if not, before that. This is when we really uncovered it. It sounds like this might have been that kind of a network. I don't know why it would need to be in New York City. That would be my guess.
Level of technology.
Now, right now, this is an ongoing investigation, even though federal authorities are tracing this back to foreign actors, some in China, some in Russia. What is critical at this point is...
Yeah, they have no idea.
SIM cards. That's 100,000 SIM cards, 300 servers. Those are the key to tracing and tracking down this network and hopefully leading to some type of arrest. Reporting live on the east side, Darla Miles, Channel 7 Eyewitness News.
Flo, welcome in. Don't forget tonight. Oh, T-minus. I saw you earlier. Didn't get a chance to tell you good evening. We were going to watch Jimmy Kimmel in about an hour and a half. Jimmy Kimmel live on Kick and DEI. We'll probably have news all the way up until that point. I've still got a lot to go through here. Let's keep it on suspected cyber attacks. Airports around the world hit by a cyber attack.
Operations slowly are returning to normal. Pretty sunset on this first day of fall. This is after a cyber attack in Europe delayed and canceled flights that then affected flights here. More than 1,500 delayed flights, 138 canceled flights at LAX. The cyber attack crippled London Heathrow, Brussels, Berlin, and Dublin. Hackers taking advantage of a weakness in the system. To check passengers into their flights, Susan Hirasuno joins us now with one theory on which country might be involved. A culprit, huh?
Yes, indeed. Well, for those of us who are used to a quick scan of a boarding pass to get onto a plane, well, now imagine the airline needs to find you on a long paper list of passengers. That's what happened over the weekend in Europe, with a ripple effect all the way to airports in the U.S.
Lines were long, tempers short in Brussels. A cyber attack on the system that is used to check in passengers meant a slowdown so dramatic, passengers either missed flights or the flights themselves were delayed or canceled.
The European Union has come out and said they haven't said absolutely they know who's doing it, but they are looking at the Russians.
National security expert Hal Kempfer believes
the Russians.
Belgium was on the list of airports targeted.
Were 220 billion of the 300 billion.
Oh yeah, he totally defunded cybersecurity. Wasn't Cessna one of the first agencies that Elon gutted? Cessna, is that the name of it?
Our frozen Russian assets is held, making a message clear to Belgium: do not take that money and use it to support Ukraine.
In addition to Brussels, also hit London Heathrow, Europe's busiest airport, Berlin, and Dublin. The company that makes the check-in program Muse reports it's in the final stages of completing updates to return the system to full functionality. If Russia is truly to blame, why not take credit?
So they do this attack, they make a statement, everyone knows who's behind it, but they won't publicly claim credit for it. Therefore, it gives us the ability not to have to use our cyber warfare tools in response to what they did.
So Russia isn't the only theory on who's to blame. A cybersecurity expert in England believes the hack to the handful of airports in Europe is really a warning. Now imagine a cyber attack that cripples every airport.
Is there any way for cybersecurity experts to definitively identify who's responsible?
Oh, that's a good question that I do not know the absolute answer to. But again, the EU is suggesting it could be Russia or some other party that is working on behalf of Russia. And imagine the chaos. If you imagine what it's like to be stuck in an airport or have a canceled flight, that all is going to lead to sort of a place where perhaps you don't trust basic systems anymore, like the airport, like the government. So there might be ulterior motives aside from that.
Who trusts the government anymore?
Funds to support Ukraine.
Right. Okay. Susan Hirasuna, thank you so much.
Maybe it wasn't Russia or China. Had you ever put any thought into the fact that it could have just been some teenager, like this teenager who was arrested for his involvement in the Las Vegas cyber attack from 2023?
Back in 2023, Las Vegas casinos were thrown into chaos after hackers took down some of the Strip's biggest names. 2 years later, a
I remember that.
is accused of being behind the whole thing. CBS News reporter Andres Gutierrez is live for us in Las Vegas. Andres, great to see you. Let's start with the attacks themselves. What exactly went wrong inside those casinos?
Well, Elizabeth, the MGM Grand was one of the casinos that got hit, and it all started with a phone call. According to investigators, a hacker ended up calling MGM Resort's help desk, pretending to be an Within 10 minutes, he convinced them to reset a password, and that gave him access to all of the internal systems. Once inside, the hacker ended up crippling the hotel chain. Guests couldn't open their rooms because the digital key card stopped working. Slot machines on the casino floor shut down. Reservations and emails also went dark. In a regulatory filing, MGM later confirmed that it lost more than $100 million in revenue because of the hack. Around the same time, Caesars Entertainment told investors that hackers had stolen customers.
It probably wasn't even a hack, was it? Like the way he described it, like got him to reset their password.
The attacks themselves.
He just slick talked them.
What exactly went
He didn't hack them
inside those casinos?
Well, Elizabeth, the MGM Grand was one of the casinos that got hit, and it all started with a phone call. According to investigators, a hacker ended up calling MGM Resort's help desk, pretending to be an Within 10 minutes, he convinced them to reset a password, and that gave him access to all of the internal systems. Once inside, the hacker...
That's not hacking. That's just duping somebody that works there. That is not a hack. Hacking implies that like you went into the code or something in a computer, not that you got a dumbass to reset a password. Oh my god. DJ Dub would be the expert. Like you call it hacking. Is this hacking? I need your input.
Crippling the hotel chain. Guests couldn't open their rooms because the digital key card stopped working. Slot machines on the casino floor shut down. Reservations and emails also went dark. In a regulatory filing, MGM later confirmed that it lost more than $100 million in revenue because of the hack. Around the same time, Caesars Entertainment told investors that hackers had stolen customer data, including driver's license numbers. Cybersecurity experts believe Caesars ended up likely paying a multi-million-dollar ransom to contain the damage. Now, Elizabeth, both cases were tied to a hacking crew known as Scattered Spider.
And Andres, now that authorities have someone in custody, what do we know about this teenager and the charges that he's facing?
Well, Elizabeth, he is just 17 years old and ended up surrendering himself last week to the Clark County Detention Center. Court documents show he faces charges including identity theft, extortion, and unlawful computer acts. Prosecutors are asking a judge to try him as an adult because of the severity of these attacks. Authorities say he is linked to the Scattered Spider Group, which has targeted several companies across the U.S. Investigators do see him part of a larger operation.
And Andre, 60 Minutes, I know, did a report last year on groups like Scat.
Are you telling Warlord not to get used to it, as in you agreeing with him? Warlord is awesome.
Whitaker ended up revealing how Scattered Spider has teamed up with another hacking group out of Russia called Black Cat, and here's how it works. Scattered Spider ends up specializing by getting inside a system. They impersonate employees, and once they're in, the other group, Black Cat, steps in with the ransomware, which locks up systems and ends up handling the negotiation of these multi-million-dollar ransoms. Experts still did tell 60 Minutes this partnership makes those attacks rather quickly and more damaging, and it's not just the casinos. They've gone after hotels, airlines, and tech companies. What is striking is how young many of these hackers are. Again, this one,
they're probably just doing it for fun too.
Many of the teenagers also are fluent English speakers who know enough about our culture that they sound very believable on the phone, and so that is, according to investigators, how they were able to pull off this attack 2 years ago, back in 2023. Elizabeth,
pretty amazing.
Wait a minute, were they not in the U.S.?
Gutierrez live for us in Vegas. Thanks so much, Andres.
It was a Russian teenager? How'd you arrest him? I've got more questions now. But we don't have time. We got to get through the news. We've got Jimmy Kimmel coming up. A former Minnesota state senator, Nicole Mitchell, has been sentenced for her role in a burglary.
And former state senator Nicole Mitchell has now been sentenced after she was found guilty of breaking into her stepmother's home in April of 2024.
As to count one, I hereby adjudicate you guilty of the crime of burglary in the first degree. It carries with it a maximum penalty of 20 years imprisonment and payment of a fine of $35,000 or both. Therefore, as punishment, you are hereby committed to the custody of the Commissioner of Corrections of this state for a period of 21 months. However, execution of this sentence is stayed and you are placed on supervised probation for 5 years.
So here's the sentence. Mitchell will serve 6 months in jail. That is the mandatory minimum. She will serve most of that time in the Ramsey County Jail, where she will be given work release. Her stepmother, Carol, says it is not enough.
I don't think 6 months is very much time for what she put me through, but at least I know it's going to hurt her. It's with her children and losing her job and that type of thing. So I guess there's definite repercussions for what she did.
Well, Nicole Mitchell will begin that sentence on October the 8th.
It didn't really give us an idea of what she did. I feel like we covered this story, but I don't really remember. I had this on my list at one point in time. I don't think we ever got around to it. That's it. I remember this because they showed a video of her in court.
Burglary trial for Democratic State Senator Nicole Mitchell is off to a quick start in Becker County. Mitchell faces 2 felony burglary counts, and prosecutors say she broke into her stepmother's Detroit Lakes home last April. Mitchell says she was checking on a loved one with Alzheimer's and has pleaded not guilty. Our Barrett Leone is listening into our court camera for us, though, and she's going to bring us the latest. So, Barrett, what can you tell us?
Hey, Barrett.
Yeah, things are moving fast, Aaron. Already this morning, we've heard from two key witnesses in this case, the 911 dispatcher and a responding officer to the call of a home invasion. And for the first time, we're getting a look at police body camera footage from the incident. It shows the moment Senator Mitchell was arrested by Detroit Lakes police. So here is the senator with her hands up, wearing all black. You can hear Mitchell say, "Carol, it's Nicole. I was just trying to get some of my dad's things because you wouldn't talk to me anymore." In the video, police confiscate a flashlight with a sock over the lens from the senator. That, along with this footage and audio of the 911 call, was shown to the jury this morning as evidence. Before that, we heard opening statements. The defense reiterated that Mitchell went into the home with the intent to check on her stepmother struggling with Alzheimer's, while prosecutors say that fact doesn't stem away from the senator's crime.
She totally dressed like a Home Alone burglar.
Frustration do not justify burglary. Use your common sense and good judgment as you listen to the evidence throughout this case.
And yet Nicole Mitchell waits patiently. Nicole Mitchell's intent is to check on Carol Mitchell. A burglar run.
I don't know if you're dressed in all black. She was dressed like a burglar. Come the fuck on now.
A concerned child stays.
Carol
Yeah, that seems like what happened. Like her dad has passed and she went to get some of the belongings back because the stepmom locked her out or something.
Nicole Mitchell's stepmother also testified this morning. However, she opted to not be on camera. All week, look for extended coverage.
It does sound like it's more like a personal thing.
Of course, a verdict. Watch it all on our free streaming service, CBS News Minnesota, Aaron.
So many delays in this trial to get to this point, Barrett, so we appreciate that update. Mitchell's trial was delayed after the assassination of Minnesota House Speaker Emerita Melissa Hortman. Today, candidate filing begins in the special election to fill her seat. So filing will last 1 week. It can be done at the Anoka County or Hennepin County election offices or at the office of the Secretary of State in St. Paul. A primary will be held in August with a special election set for September 16th.
Well, you know what? As long as we're talking about special elections, Arizona's got one that's happening right fucking now. I don't think we've got results yet, though. This is a slam dunk for Democrats, and once she is sworn in, we don't have results in yet, but Adelita Gravala set to almost certainly trounce Daniel Gutierrez. This was a plus 22 Democratic district for Harris. This is a big deal because she has said that she will sign on with all the other Democrats to the Epstein discharge petition, which brings us to 218, which means we get the Epstein files just as soon as she is sworn in. Who Epstein discharge? So apparently the polls closed about 18 minutes ago. Perhaps we'll have some results before we get to Jimmy Kimmel here. I'll keep it up. We are in the crime portion of the show. It was a slow transition from the crime to the politics, and it's still a little dicey. Couple more of these stories do involve politics. But before we get there, it's just another day. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe it wasn't a mass shooting. It says there's video. I want video. One person was injured in a shooting at the Augusta Mall today. 2 people apparently in custody.
Yell out the window would have been awful. Right on down the road.
Huh. I don't know if that's the video that goes with the story. Richmond County Coroner's Office released the name of the man killed in the shooting at Augusta Mall. According to Coroner Mark Bowen, 17-year-old Devin McLean was shot at least one time. McLean was pronounced dead around 2:40 p.m. 2 people were in custody, and they're searching for 2 others who were involved. Apparently it was just a fight.
Shooting that took place here this afternoon. The mall is closed until further notice. I'm going to step out of the way here and give you a little bit of a look at what we're seeing right now. One resident told us that she was at the Macy's here at the Augusta Mall when the shooting took place. Reports that she heard multiple shots and just had to get out as quickly as she could. She is safe. We are still waiting on word from others.
Well, that was abrupt. Anyway. At least it wasn't a mass shooting. Earlier today, the man who defended himself in his trial where he was charged with trying to assassinate President Trump was found guilty.
As the verdict was read, it appeared to our producers inside the courtroom that Ruth tried to stab himself in the neck with a pen. That's what it appeared to look like. Then 4 marshals dragged him out of the courtroom, took his coat off. They then shackled him at the waist and ankles, and then they brought him back into the courtroom. So again, this just in from our producers. As the verdict was being read, Ruth tried to hurt himself in the neck with a pen. As the verdict was...
We do have a artist rendition of what this looked like. Ryan Ruth found guilty of attempted assassination of a major political figure. I think that was the charge. Yep, attempted assassination of a major political candidate. Found guilty. A Texas man has been accused of trying to kill New York City mayor candidate Zohran Mamdani.
Accused of threatening to kill New York mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani faced a judge this morning.
The 44-year-old was arraigned today on a 22-count indictment. Prosecutors say he left a string of Islamophobic voicemails stretching from June into July. And today the threats landed him in a Queens courtroom. Jennifer Bisram was there and has the details.
Jeremy Fistel walked out of the Queens County Criminal Courthouse Thursday.
Anything you want to say?
The 44-year-old Texas resident pleaded not guilty to making terrorist threats as a hate crime against Queens Assemblyman and New York City mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani.
Go on and start your car. See what happens. Yeah, and keep an eye on your house and your family.
But prosecutors say he admitted to investigators he left 3 disturbing voicemails and sent 1 email to Mamdani back in June and July. The graphic messages laced with profanity were read in the courtroom.
Would be even better if you had to watch your wife and kids murdered in front of you before they end your pathetic, miserable life.
Jesus Christ.
Belong here. You're not compatible with our Western values. So stop spewing your anti-Semitic rhetoric.
His defense attorney, Todd Greenberg.
He's an elected official, and there were some serious threats made against him.
Look, the language, one could stand here and say it's not the right language, but it's free speech. We're not condoning the words, but it's his opinion.
It's threatening speech.
For political reasons, not anything to do with ethnicity of a person or religion of a person.
Bullshit!
Mamdani released a statement that reads in part, "We are grateful to District Attorney Katz's office for treating this matter with the seriousness it deserves. Unfortunately, threats of this nature are all too common, and they reflect a broader climate of hate that has no place in our city." Mamdani is now receiving security detail due to the threat, which is not typical for mayoral candidates.
This is probably one of the most dangerous times in American history, where we have our elected officials are under threats.
Political expert J.C. Polanco says the threat goes beyond physical violence.
There's a real danger to this. Not only are we going to lose elected officials and people with political ideas that are not popular with some folks, but then it's going to have a chilling effect on our politics and our democracy.
And Fistel is due back in court November 19th. The judge today also granted an order of protection. That means Fistel is not allowed to contact the assembly member in any way. Outside of the Queens County Criminal Courthouse in Kew Gardens, Jennifer Bisram.
I would hope so.
New York.
You just heard Jennifer say mayoral candidates do not typically receive security detail unless there is a significant threat. Today, Mamdani's opponents in the mayor's race weighed in, saying there is no place for violence in this campaign.
And he has that police detail because we don't believe anyone should be the victim of violence, but we also believe that we owe a debt of gratitude to our police personnel, and we should show them some respect as they do their job.
But everybody should have freedom of movement. Everybody should have freedom to have rallies.
Jojo Siwa.
To have a thought that maybe some violent predator or predators are there to stifle their free speech.
You literally assaulted an innocent guy on television. I saw it.
Former Governor Andrew Cuomo declined to comment on the issue.
Of course he did. The hat's the best part about Jojo Siwa. I will not let you insult that cute hat. A beret. He wore a raspberry beret. We all saw it, JoJo. Slapping fannies and killing grannies. Over the weekend, there was a shooting at a country club. The suspect appeared in court yesterday.
At 5, the man accused of a deadly shooting inside a New Hampshire country club faced a judge.
Squinting at us.
But the court hearing didn't answer many of the questions surrounding this shooting. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Wade.
And I'm Courtney Cole. Lisa's off tonight. Hunter Nadeau wasn't in the courtroom. He was actually on video conference. But we did hear, though, from the owner of the country club. WBC's Paul Burton joins us live now in Nashua, New Hampshire, with more tonight. Paul.
Yeah, 23-year-old Hunter Nadeau made his first appearance in court today. It was very brief. He actually waived his arraignment, more of a procedural thing. But tonight, we also hear from the club's owner, who's heartbroken over this tragedy.
Nadeau, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can. 23-year-old Hunter Nadeau said very little at his court appearance inside New Hampshire District Court. The Nashua, New Hampshire man is charged with 1 count of second-degree murder, accused of killing 59-year-old Rob DeCesar and injuring several others inside the Sky Meadow Country Club in Nashua, New Hampshire over the weekend.
Sky Meadow is not just my business, it's my home.
Outside the courthouse, Rob Parsons, who's owner of the country club, spoke for the first time.
This was the heinous act of a coward who will be held accountable for what he did. To the DeCesar family, there are no words to express the pain and sorrow you and our community are feeling over Robert's murder. He is a hero.
Prosecutors say Nadeau allegedly walked into the country club with a handgun and opened fire. A wedding reception was taking place at the time of the shooting. DeCesar's family says he was having dinner with his wife and daughter when he was killed, trying to protect them from the shooter. Parsons read a letter from Charlene DeCesar, Rob's wife.
First thing she said was, everyone needs to know I am not leaving Sky Meadow and I'm not leaving this community. This is my solace. This is my home.
An employee who was working as a host for the wedding was also shot in the face. He is listed in critical but stable condition. Another patron was also shot as well. Outside the court, prosecutors praised other patrons who jumped in to stop the shooter, who quickly fled the scene but was later apprehended.
That there were civilians who acted selflessly and heroically, and more lives likely would have been lost.
Prosecutors say Nato is a former employee of the country club but has not worked there in more than a year. Also not clear right now is a motive. Some witnesses say they heard Nato yelling phrases like "Free Palestine," but investigators said they do not believe the shooting was hate-related.
What we need to take from this is just what an incredible community we have here.
I'm sure somebody at a country club
say Nato will most likely face more
wants to try to paint it as a leftist.
First for a probable cause hearing. Live in Nashville, New Hampshire, I'm Paul Burton, WBZ News.
Today we spoke with Robert DeCesar's sister, and she said the fact that her brother died protecting his family did not surprise her, because that's the kind of person he was.
You needed anything, he'd get up in the middle of the night and come help you out. That's how he always was, and that's really him.
Now, coming up on the WBZ News at 6, WBZ's Logan Hall will have much more from the DeCesar family and how they're remembering Robert.
We're going to go down to Texas. And this is fresh off the presses here. A mom has been arrested after shooting her 13-year-old son.
I want to take you now out live here to Houston, Texas, where police just started a news conference. Let's go to it right now here on Live Now from Fox.
You likely had a reason.
Conduct our investigation. We have at this point concluded that 2 family members were involved in a disturbance. It is going to be a mother and a 13-year-old son. During the altercation, the mom did produce a weapon and she did fire a round, striking her son. The investigation thus far, we did contact the Harris County District Attorney's Office, and they are going to be accepting aggravated family assault charges on the mother on a family member for shooting her son, who currently is in the local hospital. At this point, he is stable, but he does have a gunshot wound in his body.
Any idea what they were? In his body.
It's going to be family matters.
We are about an hour until Jimmy Kimmel.
Was the son armed with anything?
Just over an hour until Jimmy Kimmel.
At this point, no.
Where was he hit?
I'm not going to disclose exactly where, but he was struck. He was definitely struck.
Were they the only ones in the home, the mother and the son?
There's other family members in the home.
What were they?
So, yeah, we will be watching Jimmy Kimmel live. This will be Kick and DEI live only. Sorry, YouTube people. We will be watching Jimmy Kimmel in about an hour. And probably news. I'm trying to fly through this and maybe have a police chase or something before Kimmel, but I don't think we're going to get to it. We've covered this story when they found the body inside of singer David's Tesla. Holy shit! There is so much more to this. The girl apparently was underage. He might have been in a relationship with her. She might have been pregnant. She ran away from home twice. There's all kinds of... This is a huge rabbit hole to go down. I'm honestly not sure how he has not been arrested yet.
Stay right here with
Also, apparently had his biggest streaming day ever, like yesterday.
Fame.
Can I get that smile back?
The platinum-selling artist with hits like Romantic Homicide.
In the back of my mind, I killed you.
And Here With Me.
I don't care how...
Supposedly had an unreleased song about the girl that was found in his trunk.
Tour for his debut album, Withered.
David is a young 20-year-old singer who really is just on the cusp of superstardom. You know, he really got his start because his music went very viral on TikTok. Also was very popular in the video game spectrum from Fortnite.
Now he's at the center of a weeks-long mystery after a severely decomposed body was found in an abandoned Tesla registered to the singer's legal name, David Anthony Burke.
When the body was found, the LAPD didn't know much about it because it was so heavily decomposed, but it was
a female who had been around.
I didn't notice this was Nightline. Like, they'll take me down off of YouTube sometimes. I can't, is it Nightline or 60? 60 Minutes that does that to me. I actually don't know about Nightline. Nightline might be all right. Well, let's see if we can get a news organization. Yeah, New York Post will let us know what to know here. All kinds of shit to this.
A decaying body of a 14-year-old girl found in
DJ Dub, I once again had like a killer day in streaming the last couple of days.
a car abandoned in the Hollywood Hills. A popular New York-born singer tied to the vehicle, but not named a suspect in the girl's death. All while fans and internet sleuths dig up mysterious links between the singer and the young victim. Here's everything you need to know about the musician David and Celeste Rivas Hernandez, the young teen found dismembered in his abandoned Tesla.
He was apparently 13
workers at a
when she was with him.
tow yard noticed a putrid smell coming from a Tesla that had been abandoned in the Hollywood Hills. When police arrived to investigate, they made a grim discovery. Inside the Tesla's front trunk was a dismembered body wrapped in plastic. The Tesla in question was registered to David Anthony Burke, a 20-year-old New York-born artist known professionally as David, stylized as D, the number 4, VD. At the time the body was found in the Tesla, Burke had been on a worldwide tour and performed in Minneapolis that same night. Burke shot to fame in 2022, currently boasting more than 37 million monthly listeners on Spotify. After two of his singles, Romantic Homicide and Here With Me, went viral on TikTok, he latched onto the momentum and released his debut album in April. After police discovered the body in the singer's car, it was reported that he was cooperating with authorities while continuing his tour. The tragedy led to Burke seeing a streaming boost on Spotify. As of September 21st, David's single, Romantic Homicide, jumped to number 8 on the music platform's daily top
in
the US. But there were already signs the incident would impact the up and
no press is bad press,
as he was scrubbed from a campaign by the brands Crocs and Hollister mere days after they both announced him as their face of their Dream Drop collaboration. Things took a further turn when the body was eventually identified. A little more than a week after the body was found inside David's abandoned Tesla, California authorities identified the deceased as 14-year-old Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Riverside Sheriff's Office confirmed that Rivas had been reported missing from Lake Elsinore in 2024, when she was only 13 years old. Rivas' body was found on September 8th, the day after what would have been her 15th birthday, but she had already been dead for some time. Once Rivas was named as the victim, police jumped into high gear, labeling the case as a homicide investigation. Cops raided a Los Angeles house where the singer had reportedly been living and seized several items of evidence. The raid on Burke's pad comes as connections between the pop star and the dead teen keep piling up online by internet sleuths. Screenshots of old messages by David's Discord fan server show he was rumored to be dating a teen named Celeste years before Rivas was found dead. In one disturbing message in the fan chat room apparently dug up by the online detectives, a user allegedly responded to a post from Burke in 2024, telling him to release the song about Celeste Rivas Hernandez, which would have been posted 4 months after she was reported missing. In 2023, Burke allegedly made an unreleased track in which he mentions the name Celeste twice, which was leaked on X following Rivas' identification. In the song, Burke allegedly sings, "Oh Celeste, the girl with my name tattooed on her chest, smell her on my clothes like cigarettes." Rivas' mother told TMZ that the young teen had been dating someone named David before she went missing. The teen also mysteriously had a tattoo on her right index finger that read, "Shh." Several celebrities also have the same tattoo, including Rihanna and Lindsay Lohan, neither of whom is connected to Rivas, but perhaps more mysteriously, so does Burke. Internet sleuths have also been hard at work digging up unverified videos and photos of Burke with a young woman bearing a strong resemblance to Rivas, many times with her face partially covered. Confirmed photos of Rivas were circulating on missing posters in 2024. In one alleged live stream video that is particularly disturbing, a girl resembling Rivas was seen answering fan questions with Burke and mentioned child rape.
I media trained you. That's controversial.
It's controversial of raping kids.
Video also popped up of Rivas's former teacher telling students about how he had taught the teen. He later told TMZ that he was trying to warn the kids about the dangers of social media.
When I taught her, she met this dude on social media. He was a rapper in LA. He came and got her. She ran away from home. She was gone for like a month.
X-users also dug up another alleged video from June 2024, reportedly showing a girl resembling Rivas going backstage after Burke's show. The girl in pink pants can be seen wearing Hello Kitty Crocs. Missing persons posters from April 2024 say Rivas was last seen wearing gray pants, a black sweater, a hat, and Hello Kitty sandals. A separate unconfirmed photo dug up by sleuths also allegedly shows Burke with someone wearing similar Hello Kitty Crocs. Rivas's family has now launched a GoFundMe page soliciting donations from the public to help cover burial costs. Residents of the teen's hometown, Lake Elsinore, also held a vigil on Sunday to honor the teen. Burke was also set to go tour Europe in early October, but several of those dates, including his first show in Norway, have been canceled on Ticketmaster. The singer's record label is also refusing to promote the release of the deluxe version of his album as police continue their investigation. A representative for Burke said he has been fully cooperating with the authorities. The singer has not been implicated by police in Celeste's death and has not been named a suspect. Authorities told the Los Angeles Times that the newly surfaced photos allegedly showing
he's kind of cute too, it's sad,
are being investigated. But cops have not publicly detailed any prior relationship between Rivas and the artist.
Yeah, I think the dude did it. Sure seems like it. A man who was a writer for The Bear has been arrested. Handcuffed. Oh, maybe he wasn't actually arrested. He was handcuffed on a train after an alleged complaint over how he was sitting. What?
A former writer for a hit TV show is sharing his side of the story this morning after he was kicked off a commuter train in New York City.
He was given the boot and put in handcuffs, all because of how he was sitting. ABC's Elizabeth Schulze has the story.
This is America.
Seen in this video, being removed from a train on the way from New York City to Connecticut, is speaking out.
Because this white woman said she didn't like the way I was sitting.
Authorities say Alex O'Keefe, a former writer on the TV drama The Bear, had his feet up on the seat next to him. O'Keefe posting the video saying a woman told him to fix the way he was sitting. After he refused, he says she told the conductor, who in turn called police and stopped the train.
Let's go. I haven't done anything illegal.
When police arrived, they told him to get off the train and he refused, asking what he was doing that was illegal. He was then handcuffed and removed from the train. The Metropolitan Transportation Authority says O'Keefe continued to refuse to exit, delaying service for several hundred other riders for 6 minutes. He was then issued a summons for disorderly conduct and was allowed to board the next train. According to MTA rules, riders can be fined $50 for occupying more than one seat by placing their feet up. And if a rider ignores a violation notice, they can be ejected.
Why they're delaying people, why
well, maybe he owes $50
involved, the cops involved. Just take your feet off the seat. It's that simple. And respect other passengers.
In a statement overnight, O'Keefe responded saying, quote, a 31-year-old white man in business casual would never be violently pulled off a train and detained because one customer deemed their sitting disrespectful. Elizabeth Schulze, ABC News.
He is correct. Family speaking to news stations after a police chase ended right outside of there. I think we watched this one. The other day. Police chase ended right outside their home.
We're following developing news in Upland. That's where a high-speed chase involving 2 teenagers ended in a shootout with police. Neighbors had to duck and cover in their homes.
Oh, did we watch that one? I don't remember a shootout.
In the neighborhood where it all ended, and Annette, streets are still closed there?
Well, yeah, John, you're a racist piece of shit.
Marilyn, it's incredible to believe, but this investigation is now entering its 18th hour. Why, you may be wondering? Well, because it was a police chase. Took officers onto the freeway. There were 2 separate scenes where the suspects bailed out of the car and then where they ran off to. Now, this is a stretch of Laurel Avenue, what you're seeing behind me here, and detectives are still combing the street there, gathering evidence. In terms of the residents that witnessed or heard all of this, they say they are still very, very much shaken. Take a listen.
I don't know, maybe 3 or 4, many.
Neighbors caught in the crossfire of a frightening scene unfolding just outside their homes.
It's scary. Yes, I am scary.
So the cops shot a couple of teens.
I see something like this. Pow, 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 pow.
Off and on, it was maybe 20.
A house riddled with bullets and casings scattered across the ground following an overnight pursuit that began in Covina and ended on Laurel Avenue and Orchard Lane in Upland, with officers and one of the men they were chasing exchanging gunfire.
Our officers had observed the suspect vehicle, no headlights on, traveling at speeds in excess of.
No, John, I know you are racist. Literally made a video proving you are racist as shit. You goddamn motherfucker. No, you proved it the other day. You called in, you talked about how Ilhan Omar didn't believe in American values. I kept questioning you, like, what American values? What American values? And basically, you proved you were racist. I even, here. This is your call. Christian caller proves he's racist. This is the video I made about you being a racist. Where, I have a whole hour of you being a racist. Why do you have such a disdain for the woman? She is incredibly bright and talented, well spoken. But do you know what racist it means to prejudge somebody? So you've let right-wing media prejudice you towards her.
She doesn't have any American values either.
What does that mean? Brother, I hate this bullshit. What does American values mean? As far as I can tell, American values means goddamn freedom. And freedom means you don't tell other people what their values are.
She does not represent America.
What the fuck does that mean? She is an American. She literally, no, brother, holy fuck. She literally represents America. Literally. She's a U.S. representative. You dumb motherfucker.
That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate.
Why?
Because she doesn't represent American values. All she does is
I can't say anything other than call you racist, because what does American values mean, you motherfucker? It's because she's black.
She's Somali. She's not American.
And ho. American is just somebody who is an American citizen.
So you're telling me that somebody that just crossed the Rio Grande and got their boots on the ground and doesn't speak the language, doesn't understand the culture.
She speaks the language. She understands the culture so well that she is a U.S. representative, you stupid piece of shit.
Well, she definitely understands the ability to get elected.
What does that fucking mean, you motherfucker?
Well, it means that she does.
That she's a good politician. Politician, yes. She's a very gifted politician. That's a good thing. So we have a young... How are you not racist? How? Just like the dipshit telling me Charlie Kirk wasn't racist, sends me a video to prove he wasn't racist. The first thing Charlie Kirk says was explicitly racist. I don't think you represent American values, John. I think you represent Christian white nationalism. And I don't want you in my society. You don't belong in polite society. Brother, I can't pinpoint. You can't tell me what you disagree with her about. It's not about policy, so it has to be about something. It's skin color, or it's you're bigoted against her religion, or you're against women in general. Either way, you're a piece of shit. But you think you're a wonderful Christian that loves everybody. It's disgusting. Here's a man that drove through an Amazon.
A busy grocery store. And Mike, going back to you, this happened in an Amazon Fresh in Westchester, correct?
It did. You can see the video right there. That car was absolutely inside of the Amazon Fresh there in Westchester. Well, all of this went down. Now, what we're told by
you didn't have to mention race.
This person, the driver, apparently elderly, potentially disabled, when they ran over that handicap placard sign that you can see laying on the ground and inside of the Amazon Fresh store. Now, when they went inside the Amazon Fresh store, they hit a cashier that was working inside of there. That cashier taken to the hospital with some minor injuries. And tonight we have some video where you can hear a couple of people talking about the ordeal.
I heard the boom. I was across the street. I heard the boom, but I didn't know it was until I got it.
I thought it was my coworker. She was cleaning up. I thought she dropped all of her pans. That's what it sounded like.
That dropped all of her pans. Now, right now, we know that the LAPD's West Traffic Division is investigating this crash to figure out exactly what happened. But it does sound like they have a pretty good idea, and it sounds likely accidental that woman, or that driver potentially ran over that handicap.
Drunk people do too.
Amazon Fresh store, guys.
Mike, thank you so much.
We've seen both drunk and elderly people just drive into things. No, they're not, John. No, they're not. You think she's destructive to America because she's a foreigner, because you're racist. Like, you're literally saying it to us. You have no substantive critique. You're just a racist. I fucking hate people like you, seriously. And your own book tells you how to treat foreigners, and you do the exact opposite. The book you profess to believe in tells you, commands you, 20-something fucking verses from Jesus, red letters, tells you to treat foreigners better than your own countrymen. She represents her constituency. That's a good thing, John. I'm sorry, you're just a fucking idiot. It is about race. You can say it's not about race all day long. We all know it is because you don't have a critique. You just don't like her. We all see it. You're not fooling anybody. Maybe yourself. Seriously, I think you're delusional enough to think that you have, that you are fucking loving and that you're not actually being judgmental towards her. I believe that you're dumb enough to think that. Now go the fuck away, man. Stop trying to fucking hijack my show. Nobody likes you. Police officers save an Orange County resident from a burning home in a dramatic video.
Dramatic new video here of Westminster police officers.
Oh, shut up, warlord.
Burning home to save a woman trapped inside last week. Officers saw the garage was fully engulfed in flames and that the fire was spreading to the home. They rushed into the home to save the woman, who they say was bedridden and trapped inside a bedroom. She was treated at the scene for smoke inhalation and is expected to be okay. Firefighters quickly knocked the flames down, but there's no word on the estimate of the cost of the damage.
You just keep saying racist shit. Questionable status of her voters, quote unquote. That's racist, brother. You've got no reason to question anybody's voter status other than the fact that you're racist. I'm not friends with racists, John. I don't like you. You're a piece of shit. I don't know how much plainer I can make it. I hate people like you. You don't represent American values. You are a Christian nationalist and you are a fascist, and I fucking hate your guts. Sorry, bro. It is racist. It is racist because what does racism mean? You're prejudging people. You're questioning the status of her voters. Brother, if you're this stupid that you don't understand, go the fuck away. You're a waste of time. And you're a waste of skin and a waste of oxygen. Do us all a favor, my friend. Remove yourself from the gene pool. Warlord's just being an antagonist. Oh. I love stories like this. Neighbors are on high alert after a vicious squirrel attack.
This clomped onto my leg and it was just hanging on. His tail was flying up here, you know, and I was like, get off me, and I kind of didn't want to touch it. But
it's the last thing Joan Hebleck expected on her morning walk through Lucas Valley in San Rafael.
Came out of nowhere. Out of nowhere. I didn't see him running up to me at all.
Joan suddenly attacked by a squirrel, which clawed and bit her legs. The wounds bad enough she had to go to the ER. Scary.
Oh, yeah, very scary. And how do you get the squirrel attached to your leg off?
This is beautiful. Now it's following us until she almost killed me.
Isabel Campoy and her niece Carmen were also attacked while walking in the same area off Mount Lassen Drive.
They had to do something to deserve it.
To the floor, and from the floor tried to jump to my face, which I tried to protect my face from, and then my arm was completely overcome by the squirrel. Finally, it jumped off, and by then I was full of blood, and I ran to the emergency room.
When I saw her with all the blood in her arm, I was like, oh my God.
These flyers are now posted alerting residents about the incidents. Neighbors say 5 people have been attacked, possibly by the same squirrel with a golden color. It's also been the talk of next door.
Unfortunately, it's
a little golden squirrel.
From Wild Care in San Rafael says squirrels are not vectors for rabies. The aggressive behavior likely due to the animal being fed and cared for by humans when it was small.
Well, if they associate people with food, then they're not afraid of them. They come up, they look for food, they don't get it. There could be frustrations. They can be territorial of their space.
Wild Care urging the public to feed wild animals. Meantime, neighbors are enjoying the outdoors, but watching their backs. Isabel is trying to heal and move forward.
It hurts to touch the skin. I am putting my best power, mind, positive, in order to say I will survive this.
In San Rafael, Cornell Bernard, ABC 7 News.
I, for one, embrace our squirrel overlords. Yes. Are you ready to get wet? Have we got everybody wet yet? We're about 37 minutes away from Jimmy Kimmel Live. First going to, hell yeah, my lord, I love it. Torrential rains causing flooding and landslides in Italy. Anonymously, good evening. I need to give you emotes. I should do that tonight. Doesn't mean I can't make one. Doesn't mean I can't grab his. I probably just ask him. Wait a minute, is that one of my emotes? Wait, is that one of my emotes? How do I have emotes over here? I didn't know I put emotes. Oh, Warlord's got emotes. I was not aware of this. Oh, hey. I got some emotes that Twitch won't let me have over here. Yeah, the light one up, tip one back. Twitch won't let me have that one. Aren't you guys sad about that? It kind of sucks. Because I like that emote an awful fucking lot. I think it's also on YouTube. I don't think Twitch will let me have Moron Snake either. Or maybe it's just the snake over there and it doesn't say morons. Typhoon Ragasa is a super typhoon.
A massive typhoon barreling through Asia, bringing with it torrential rain, dangerous wind, and landslides. In Taiwan, an overflowing river taking out this bridge, floodwater rushing into a nearby village. Rescues playing out across the Philippines. In this province, storm surge exceeded 9 feet. The Philippine Coast Guard racing to save fishermen trapped inside their capsized boat. This photo showing the moment they were pulled to safety. Typhoon Ragasa, the most powerful storm of the year, with sustained winds reaching 165 miles per hour. The haunting size of the storm seen here from the International Space Station.
Wow!
So far, at least 3 people killed and thousands evacuated. And those numbers are expected to rise as the storm now takes aim just south of Hong Kong and will make landfall into mainland China in the next 24 hours. Store shelves there are empty, and hundreds of flights have already been canceled.
All right, and Bill Cairns joins us now. Bill, as you mentioned, this storm, this typhoon, is now targeting really heavily populated cities. What is the timing? What's the advice to folks?
Yeah, Hong Kong, 7.5 million people live in this general vicinity near Hong Kong, China. And you can see how close they are now to the eye, the core of the storm, the really dangerous portion. It has gone down from that 165 winds. Now it has 130 mile per hour winds. That's our equivalent to a Category 3 hurricane. Still, a very powerful storm. That would be in the wind right here. It actually looks like it's gaining a little more strength in the last couple frames here and maybe trending a little more north than the actual forecast line, which was south of Hong Kong. So it may be heading up here. So southern portions of Hong Kong, these areas may get it the worst. And then besides the winds, the rains are going to be a problem too. 5 to 10 inches widespread, isolated up to 15. So many people in the path of this storm. And I also want to keep in mind that back home here, we have 2 areas.
Oh yeah, that's what I was getting ready to go to.
Atlantic basin. One of these has a chance of getting a little close to the Bahamas and possibly the southeast coast as we head through the upcoming weekend. The one behind it, close to Bermuda. We'll keep an eye on this as we go throughout the rest of the week. It is our peak month of the hurricane season and typhoon season across the globe.
Yeah, our thoughts certainly with those people in mainland China bracing for impact. Bill Cairns for us. Thanks so much.
We thank you for watching.
Shut up, Tom Llama.
Breaking news and top stories on the NBC News.
You're no Lester.
Watch live on our YouTube channel.
Let's take a look at the live shot in Hong Kong as Ragasa approaches. Currently live in Hong Kong. Gussa approaching. Brother, you are racist. I'm sorry. Like, there's no way around it. If you don't have actual policy disagreements with Ilhan Omar, you hate her because either the color of her skin or her religion or that she's a woman, and either of those things or all three combined. And if, like, I don't know what else to tell you. You're a Christian white nationalist. It's clear. Sorry. Don't be a fucking racist if you don't want to get called a racist. We're getting ready to contend with Hurricane Gabrielle. Or Gabriel? It's Gabriel because it's men's names this year, right?
Let's head out to the tropics. It's extremely busy right now.
Gabrielle?
The 5 o'clock advisory with Gabrielle just dropped into a Category 4 hurricane.
Gabriel.
Barely hanging on to that status, though. You can see as we take a look at the satellite imagery that wind shear is starting to eat away at the western side of the storm. It is moving off to the east-northeast at 21 miles per hour. And as
it's moving away from us. I thought it was going to hit the
Atlantic. It's going to gradually weaken and likely going to impact the Azores Islands as we get into Thursday night into Friday as a Category 1 hurricane. A little closer to home, we have Tropical Wave Invest 93. This is in the central Atlantic. This has a 90% chance it could be a depression by late week. And the second tropical wave.
John, you don't respect our Constitution. Shut the fuck up.
Highlighted in the orange here. This has a medium chance of developing. This is expected to bring rain to Puerto Rico tonight into tomorrow, and it could be a tropical depression as it nears the Bahamas. We're watching this one pretty closely because if it becomes a tropical depression, it'll be likely near the Bahamas, and where it goes thereafter is still to be determined. But we do have a cold.
Like, brother, how could, like, I literally proved to you. You hadn't even heard the quote. She didn't say what you said she said. And then you're like, oh, well, her body language proves she's anti-American. I don't like you. You are racist. And speaking of racist-ass, stupid fucking Christians who are full of hate, which John is, we're going to talk about a pastor in Tennessee. There's a sign in Jackson County that says, hate has no home here. That pastor wants the sign to come down.
Hate has no home here. Seems like a harmless message, but now in a major escalation following the Charlie Kirk assassination, a far-right pastor is calling on his critics to take down those signs. Good evening, everyone. I'm Rory Johnston.
And I'm Carrie Sharp. That pastor, Andrew Isker, is part of an effort to establish a Christian nationalist community here in Middle Tennessee. Now he's equating those hate has no home signs with a call for political violence.
At the same time, he's calling for vengeance against people he perceives to be his enemies. Our chief investigative reporter, Phil Williams, has been monitoring this group that is planting roots in.
I've always loved Phil Williams reporting until the other day when I was researching this story. I found out that Phil Williams has me blocked on Twitter, and I have no idea why. I don't remember ever interacting with him or tagging him in anything or respond. Like, I love his reporting. I followed him until he blocked me. So Phil, if you're watching this, if you're watching the Troll Patrol, if you're watching me, I think you're a fantastic reporter. I don't know why you blocked me.
In Jackson County, about 90 minutes northeast of Nashville. And Phil, this is really quite an escalation in the rhetoric.
It is, and you can understand. Andrew Isker is understandably horrified by the assassination of Charlie Kirk. But while he's calling for the left to tone down its rhetoric, he doesn't appear to be ready to do the same.
Blood cries out from the ground for justice.
In this sermon posted online, far-right pastor Andrew Isker, who's leading an effort to establish a Christian nationalist community in Jackson County, Tennessee, expresses anger over the murder of conservative activist Charlie Kirk and the response of some liberals, arguing that now is not the time for America, in the words of Jesus, to love your enemy.
This great evil must not be tolerated. It must be rooted out and eradicated.
And in a post in a Jackson County Facebook group, Isker compares himself to Kirk, saying his views are more or less the same as the slain activists, and claiming that as a result of what he calls irresponsible reporting, he has received multiple death threats. I checked with both the Jackson County Sheriff and Gainesboro Police, where Isker's office is located, and both said he had never reported any such threats to them. Still, Isker takes aim at the "Hate Has No Home in Jackson County" signs that have sprung up around the area, telling his neighbors that those signs, quote, mean you support violence against people.
Oh, James played it.
He adds, if you...
I was going to play it like last week, but I had other things come up. I'm sorry I didn't get to it before James did, my lord.
Really believe the rhetoric needs to be toned down, you will show it by putting these signs away.
We're building a town. We're building a community there.
Our News Channel 5 investigation has drawn directly from the words of Isker and his podcast co-host CJ Engel. Isker has downplayed the murders of 14-year-old Emmett Till, Ahmaud Arbery, and George Floyd, and he has declared that the very
I'm part of his fan club
was literally a creation of communists. He has repeatedly mocked members of the LGBTQ community, saying here that the answer is to put these people in jail.
This conversation probably has piqued a lot of interest for a lot of people. And
the podcasters have platformed guests known for spreading anti-Semitic notions, while Isker has dismissed anti-Semitism as a 20th century slur. And here in a podcast titled, Guys, You Gotta Get Over Hitler, he agreed with far-right.
Oh, that's not Matt Walsh, by the way. Matt Walsh, you once referred to me as a formidable voice in the culture.
JustinFREAKIN is a formidable voice in the culture.
But that is not Matt Walsh.
Christian pastor Joel Webbin that Jews should be treated as second-class citizens, in his words, as foster children.
They get to ride in the car, and be treated respectfully in the car, but they don't get to drive.
It's like having a family, and you have foster children in your family, right? You wouldn't even give your own children the credit card or the family budget, but you're definitely not giving it to the foster child.
But like the uproar over late-night host Jimmy Kimmel, Isker argues for going after journalists who say bad things about people like him.
Media organizations who accuse Christians of spreading hate or fascism or white supremacy or whatever slurs they wish to use, they must lose their broadcast license and be subject to broadened defamation laws. Extreme action must be taken.
And on X, Isker shared a post from an account that demands declare a state of emergency. Every leftist needs to be purged from every institution, remove them from their positions, confiscate their assets. The post continues, the Democrat Party needs to be declared a criminal organization, freeze their assets, remove their politicians from office, strike down their laws. And if that sounds like Isker is ready to abandon democracy, he doesn't seem to care.
Nowhere in the Bible does it prescribe liberal democracy as God's form of government, as the ideal form of government.
As for his future here in Jackson County, Isker's words regarding those no hate signs are ominous. Gainsboro is my home now. I am not leaving, he writes. If the hate is me and I am not leaving, no home here means the only way I don't have a home here is if someone kills me. And in a podcast that ran late this afternoon, Isker doubled down even more on his rhetoric, saying, quote, when you accuse someone of preaching hate, they are saying, I hope somebody puts a bullet in your neck. That's what that means. As for his call for vengeance, he does make the point in that sermon that he doesn't think any individual ought to go out and seek vigilante justice on their own. Instead, he argues that the Trump administration should be doing that job, which we've seen recently. There may be some inclination to go after people whose speech they don't like.
Well, Phil, Andrew Isker talks about toning down the rhetoric as some of his not fans toning down their rhetoric, but has he, as a pastor, someone who should be really in tune with humility and love for others, has he shown any sign of toning down his?
None that I have found. And in fact, in that podcast that I just watched moments ago, he calls for journalists to be shaking in their boots.
Tough times indeed. You're going to continue to follow.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Phil. Appreciate it.
John, you have no credibility. There was nothing wrong with the reporting. Phil Williams, fantastic reporters, won all kinds of awards. George Floyd was murdered. That's what the autopsy said. That's what a trial said. A cop was found guilty of murdering him. Once again, you're racist. You're racist, John. No, he was murdered. That's why we call you racist. Because you have to denigrate people. Literally, the autopsy said he was murdered. The trial said he was murdered. John, you are a fucking liar. Your Bible commands you to not bear false witness. And you are lying in my chat. You've lied multiple times. That's why I call you, you are a racist. You are a racist piece of shit, and I do not like you. We are about 20 minutes away. The autopsy said he was murdered. You don't get to magically judge what the jury thought. John, I hate your guts. Seriously, I hate you with a burning passion because you are an idiot. You are lying in my chat. Stop it. Go away. Yes, you are not qualified to discuss autopsies. This is why I hate right-wingers. Stop having opinions on shit you know nothing about. What is Jimmy Kimmel going to say on his first show back in about 20 minutes? I doubt he is going to approach the subject.
Jimmy Kimmel's return to late night is said to be one of the most massive television moments of the decade.
I think this could be the highest rated episode of Jimmy Kimmel.
I mean, we're going to watch it.
A lot to unpack, and I think a lot of people are going to be watching. This is huge.
But two large station groups, Nexstar and Sinclair, are refusing to air the show.
Those station groups cover roughly 25% of the country. So that means that 1/4 of the country will not
you're right.
Kimmel show live tonight on their local stations.
We stand by that decision pending assurance that all parties are committed to fostering an environment of respectful, constructive dialogue in the markets we serve, Nexstar said in a statement today. Outside Jimmy Kimmel's studio here in Hollywood is a hive of activity. Production crew getting back to work, the live audience arriving with tickets in hand, the hottest ticket in town. And everyone is wondering, what will Jimmy Kimmel say? Will he apologize?
I think maybe he'll explain it a little bit more. Perhaps he'll discuss how his words were taken out of context. But I also don't think he's going to belabor it. I think ultimately they want this to be business as usual.
His guests tonight are actor Glenn Powell and singer Sarah McLachlan, which suggests it's going to be a regular show.
Our long national late nightmare is over.
The Brotherhood of late night TV hosts are applauding Kimmel's return.
There's young Jimmy Kimmel's coming back to television. Huh?
our friend Jimmy Kimmel will be back on the air.
But some on the right are not so enthused.
He will probably read something that the lawyers wrote for him and act trite for a second. And then he will carry on and be the exact same Jimmy Kimmel that we're used to.
Kimmel himself broke his silence today, posting this image of him with Norman Lear, who clashed often with the censors in his long career.
Love Norman Lear.
TV producer. The caption, missing this guy today.
Yeah, what city burnt down, John? Minneapolis? Is that what you're saying? Feds say far-right group coordinated attack on Minneapolis police precinct. The Boogaloo Boys were prosecuted for this. So, John, your side actually does burn down cities. And as somebody else in the chat mentioned, Tulsa, Wilmington, North Carolina, as I mentioned earlier. You're a racist, John. You're a racist. I hate you. With a burning passion. I hate you so much. And you hide behind your Christianity. You claim you're a good person. You say you pray for me and you love me and shit. But you're really just a raging racist, fascist piece of shit. And you despise American values of freedom. You despise our Constitution. And you are everything that's wrong with this country. It's always John's side. Once again, the vast majority of political violence in this country comes from the right. Overwhelming. Over-fucking-whelming. From the right. Overwhelming from the right. 76% of all right-wing or all domestic extremist-related killings. You don't have a trans black wife, and it's insulting that you would say that. And you wouldn't say tranny if you had a trans wife. John, stop it. You lying sack of shit. You just keep lying in my chat, and it's annoying, man. It's annoying. This is why I just break down and call right-wingers morons. You're bullshit, John. You're bullshit, dude. A man is upset after his emotional support alligator was banned from Walmart.
I didn't think that I would actually own an alligator ever. It's been really kind of incredible.
Wesley Silva got his pet alligator 4 years ago from a neighbor who got her as a gift. When they weren't able to care for her anymore, they asked Silva if he'd be interested.
I did some research. I have kids of my own, and I didn't want to put anybody in jeopardy. And after some research, I was like, you know what? I'll take her.
Since then, they've been everywhere.
We've gone to restaurants. We've been to Denny's where she's a star there. She gets VIP treatment. We've been out to Bob Evans. We've been out to the Wagon Wheel in West Brownsville.
Silva says she always got a warm welcome. That is until nearly 2 weeks ago when some shoppers at the West Brownsville Walmart reached out to Channel 11 about an alligator shopping in Walmart with its owner.
It's been very positive, and I was really taken back by that.
While Silva says Jinsei Oshi is registered...
I told you you'd love this, Byronic.
It's not allowed at Walmart. After our story, Walmart sent this statement saying...
I mean, other than Walmart banning
we welcome
it.
service animals in our stores, but it is unacceptable to expose members of the public to potential danger. Accordingly, alligators are not permitted on our premises. Silva says he's upset, but understands. He says he'll continue taking her wherever she's welcome.
I just go with the flow.
We thank you for
shut up, Tom Lama.
On breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or watch live.
I think that I would actually own an alligator ever. It's been really kind of incredible.
Wesley Silva got his pet alligator 4 years ago from a neighbor who got her as a gift. When they weren't able to care for her anymore, they asked Silva if he'd be interested.
It just seems like the calmest little alligator.
My own, and I didn't want to put anybody in jeopardy. And after some research, I was like, you know what? I'll take her.
Since then, they've been everywhere.
We've gone to restaurants. We've been to Denny's where she's a star there. She gets VIP treatment. We've been out to Bob Evans. We've been out to the Wagon Wheel in West Brown.
He's got a little sweater.
He's got a warm welcome. That is until nearly 2 weeks ago when some shoppers at the West Brownsville Walmart reached out to Channel 11 about an alligator shopping in Walmart with its owner.
It's been very positive, and I was really taken back by that.
While Silva says ginseng...
Ironic, would you have an alligator like that?
Support
you
animals,
would.
it's
I
not at Walmart.
Don't even need to ask.
Story, Walmart sent this statement saying in part, quote, "We welcome service animals in our stores, but it is unacceptable to expose members of the public to potential danger. Accordingly, alligators are not permitted on our premises." Silva says...
Fuck Walmart. See,
He says he'll continue taking her wherever she's welcome.
I wouldn't be in a Walmart anyway, so...
We think that I would actually own...
I don't know. If I saw a calm alligator like that as a dude is hugging it and petting it, I want to pet that alligator right now, and I never thought I would say those words. Got it on a leash. It's got dressing it up. I would pet that alligator. If that alligator's into it, I would pet the alligator. It looks cute. I can't, because I am not a lizard kind of guy. I'm a fluffy cat kind of guy. John, please shut up. Like, nobody wants to hear from you. You ruin the mood. Like, we're over here talking about alligators, and you're still, like, yes, you're naming all people that were attacked by right wing. Paul Pelosi was attacked by a right winger. It was totally a Trump supporter. You're an idiot. You're so fucking stupid. A right wing group was prosecuted for burning down Minneapolis Police Department. All the violence comes from the right. YouTube people, we're going to have to say goodbye to you. Kick people, stick around. We're going to watch Jimmy Kimmel. See if he has the balls to say anything about Donald Trump or Charlie Kirk or the whole situation. I'm taking bets. I believe that he's not even going to talk about it. He is not going to talk about the subject at all. So podcast people, YouTube, Rumble, light one up, tip one back. It's all right to have a little fun before you hit the sack. I'm JustinFREAKIN. We'll see you tomorrow night on the Troll Patrol, live.